Booyakasha, check this out, yo. I is here with my main woman, Naomi Wolf. She be well important feminist and has like written enough books about that kind of stuff. Do you think that women should have equal rights in the workplace?
Yeah, do you?
Well, ain't there the problem that if they start getting them there, then they're going to start asking for them at home?
Yeah, and what's wrong with that? Research has shown, this is my favorite statistic in misconceptions, that the most erotic thing a man can do for a woman is the dishes, is housework.
Is do the dishes?
Well, after she's had a child.
I thought it was the figure of eight. The figure of eight when you...
Well, that's good before...
Yeah.
Okay, well, that's good, that's good.
All right then, no offense, but if you were so equal, how come even the things that you claim that you was better at men, like cooking, you know, you ain't?
Well, who says women are better at cooking?
All the best chefs in the world is like men, like, you know, Colonel Sanders, man or woman Ronald McDonald. Them is like a million times better than Wendy.
Yes, a very good question. I mean, I guess I have to say I never claimed that women are better cooks than men. You're right. The great chefs have all been men.
Do you reckon now that women has got more job opportunities than men?
No, I do not.
Because, you know, you've got all the lap dancers, all the woman in the rap videos, whatever, strippers, you know.
A lot of countries in Eastern Europe are collapsing, and women like me, you know, have to sell sex in order to eat, you know, in order to look after their children, and there's nothing sadder.
If you did, you would make loads. I'm not saying I hope you never have to. But
well, thank you for the compliment.
Right.
I appreciate that because I'm almost 40, so that's nice that, you know, I could possibly take to the streets if I needed to. But let me tell you, honestly, how would you feel if you had to sell sex, your sex?
What if people pay me money for sex?
No, honestly, I mean, I know, like,
I would be there every day.
So cool.
I would
be
late in the office 24 hours a day,
yeah.
7 days a week, 365.
I mean, would you call a woman a bitch? Would you say you're my bitch and expect her to feel really cared for and respected?
Well, with me Julie, I've got a girlfriend, and I do sometimes call her my bitch, but you know, in the bedroom, whatever, you know, that is, them words come out, and, you know, she ain't got a problem with it.
Okay. Gee, I'm kind of speechless.
I ain't calling her a bitch, I was calling her my bitch.
My bitch, I'm sorry. Okay, my bitch. Okay, you know, I guess we're just really speaking at cross purposes because I'm so offended by this, I can't even tell you.
Isn't up. Sex. You has all heard the words, probably enough of you out there is done it. So, what is pornography?
I think pornography sends a very dangerous message to society. I think it lies about sex.
What did you think?
Well, I mean, I enjoy watching it myself. I mean, of course, you know, a lot I feel is the parents, because of course you have to be 18 before you enter these sites.
That's
you know,
right.
there's a written,
Yeah, she's right.
there's a written statement there saying, yes, I'm 18. I mean, I see these young girls.
Whoa, let her finish.
I'm sorry.
No, I'm sorry.
I mean, I'm seeing like young girls, 12, 13, and I'm thinking they're 18, you know.
For the men in this business, how important is it, the size of the warrior?
It's not really the size. You know, I've worked with quite large men, and I've worked with smaller men.
Because I've got a massive one, you know. But what does you say to people out there with small ones? Not me.
No, it's just, you know,
opposite.
of course, the saying, it's not how large, it's how you use it.
Why does you think it is that you ain't had sex with someone yet? Do you think it is because you was too shy, or because you was aiming for honeys out of your league?
No.
Do you think it's because of the confidence
No.
thing?
No.
You don't
No.
have the
No.
chance to go up to ladies
No.
and say, let's do it?
No. I do not believe that sex with multiple partners should be the normal standard in our society.
So what you were saying is you actually is trying not to have sex.
Basically what I'm attempting to do is not allow sex to come to the forefront of my life.
Does you think the age at which you can have sex is at the right level?
For most states in this country, the age of consensual sex is usually around 16 or 18.
All right. Virgin, does you think that it's at the right age?
Well, but I think the difficulty is the issue that, you know, we're wired to have sex pretty young.
How old can I
I was 18 when I lost my virginity.
How old was you? Obviously, I ain't asking you because you was a virgin, right? I was like, I think about 10 or something with this model from Italy who was 28. It is illegal for people to have sex below the age of 16. Should it be illegal to have sex above the age of something like 50?
No, I wouldn't want it to be illegal to have sex above the age of 50 for personal reasons.
But like a couple of years ago, me had a really bad experience and me walked in on me nana. Mm-hmm. She was actually doing it like 69 with Uncle Derek, her boyfriend Uncle Derek, who ain't me real uncle. And it was like, I felt sick. It was like...
Sure.
But the way
walnuts in a sock. How can that be right?
No.
You learn to knock before you go into Nana's bedroom.
No, but then it happened, they did it in the living room as well.
Well, that's irresponsible if, you know, for parents to do that when there are their children around or anyone else.
So let's just have one word to sum up your position.
Let's say commitment.
Virgin?
Nobility.
Jesus.
Safety.
Your mine is peace. So let's try and do that into something. Peace. Your nobility. Yeah. Check it. 'Cause Jesus, in it, is
Commitment.
commitment.
Okay.
Peace. Just thought that out, just like that, because I didn't know what your words was going to be beforehand. That just was
That's
at the
good.
top of my head.
Okay.
Is acting.
What a good question. The camera hates acting.
What's this?
That's the old-fashioned kind of acting, where you're indicating, acting in quotes. Those are quotes. They're quotes.
What is quotes?
Quotation marks.
Oh, I thought they was like ears.
Yeah.
When you do with someone.
That's correct.
Why is it that hoes is better actors than men?
I should tell you, as Dean of the Actors Studio of the Drama School, that I don't use words like hose and I hate them. That's honestly.
All right,
I know
bitches,
this the
bitches.
vernacular. No.
All right, so
I hate
bitches
words
then.
like bitches.
But why is it that woman is like so good at pretending to be upset? Like, oh, Ali, you was forgotten my birthday. Oh, you was slept with my best friend. Oh, you know, crying. Has you ever met Robert De Niro's?
Robert De Niro was on my show.
Whoa, he is the fun man. He is so good.
Robert De Niro is a genius.
Has you seen Analyze This?
Oh, yeah.
Oh, him doing his thing.
I've had them both on my show, him and Billy.
Good.
Him and
Where
Billy
does he
Crystal.
say, no, you, all the time to the other one with the beard, who ain't that good.
You asked,
you.
asked about the Actors Studio. Go see Taxi Driver.
Is it better than Analyze This?
Yes.
Has you ever cried during watching a movie?
Of course. I'm a pushover. I cry.
You was crying?
What are you laughing at? I cry readily if I'm moved.
Does he want us to redo that bit? Because this is going to go out. You don't want them to know that he was crying.
You're going to call
Has you
me,
ever
you're going to call me a Fifi boy for crying in a movie?
Well, it's a bit over the hill and round the bend, isn't it?
No, it's Jesus, no. Jesus, no.
Has you ever interviewed Shakespeare's?
William Shakespeare?
No doubt.
Well, he died about 400 years ago.
No, he ain't, because I've seen him at
On the
theatre with the school. They made us go to see William Shakespeare.
You saw somebody playing Shakespeare, which is great.
I didn't really like it, and we left after half an hour. Well, they chucked me out because I was shining one of them laser pen things on Shakespeare's head. But
Respect, shame on you.
yo, so diggity check yourself before you wreck yourself, because I is here with 4 people who has all thought about something called religion. How powerful is God?
I think there is a power. I think most people at one point or another experience that power. They draw upon something that seems larger than themselves.
Can God do better stuff than David Blaine's?
You're asking God to make square circles, which are impossible. God can't do impossible things. That's not a limitation on God.
There have always been magicians, and there always will be, and some of them claim to be really producing magic.
So ain't God just like an overhyped David Blaine's?
No, and a lot of people would find that suggestion very offensive.
Yo, sorry. If God has got all these amazing powers, why don't he flex it every day? Like if you has got it, flaunt it. Like my mate Dave, he's got a 9-incher. He gets it out all the time. God should be showing his powers. Well, let's talk about this man, the main man, the MacDaddy of the Christian thing. What was his name again?
Jesus Christ.
Why did Jesus go around with all them reindeers?
I'm not sure I've seen the same image as you've seen. I think you're confusing him with Santa Claus.
So does Jesus really exist, or is it just your father dressed up?
Yes, Jesus exists as the second person of what we believe to be the triune God.
Is it true that he was born in a stable?
It's possible. He was born in those kind of simple circumstances. No room in the inn, that sort of thing.
There was no room in the... Well,
yeah.
Well, that's because it was Christmas, isn't it? Let's talk about marriage. Would you ever marry a Jewish girl?
I've chosen not to marry. I've chosen...
What, just to play around?
Celibate life.
So how many months has you been celibate?
52 years next
So you ain't done it for 50?
That's right. That's right. And I can tell you, there's more to life than sex.
Would you, as a gesture of bringing us together, marry her?
There are other ways of bringing us together than marriage.
What if she was a bit fitter? Would you consider marrying her then?
I am considering marriage not at all.
But people out there, they see people as meant to be religious, behaving in an unreligious way. Ain't it hypocritical that so many nuns also work part-time as strippers?
Well, I don't think you can demonstrate that statistically.
Yo,
that's an absurd statement that you've just made.
No, it ain't. I was been at my mate Ricky C's 21st, and there was this nun that came in, and like 10 minutes later, she had her bubble-ons out, was whipping shaving cream off his
But
body.
you just said so many nuns work as strippers, and then you say this one.
She said her name was Sister Fister.
But see,
was that part of her act, or was that really who she was?
Yeah.
I would really prefer that you move off this topic because I find it offensive. It's not documented by any kind of evidence.
We've got a video.
Hearsay. It's
I've got a
hearsay.
video of it. Yo, so we just want to say big up all yourselves, respect. This has been well interesting. It's been deep. It's been everything. There's been times when it's been boring. But that's life, innit?
Yeah.
And that's deep. Keep it real. And you lot out there, listen up to what has been said and think about it for yourself. Check it. It is 8 o'clock in the morning, which is the earliest I has ever been up. And I is in the middle of the fucking desert. Why? Because I is at an anti-nuclear protest, which is a subject well close to my heart. And it is also an opportunity to meet some loose hippie bitches and possibly have a rumble. Respect. So, should we stand up or should we sit down?
Let's sit down because it's closer to the earth that way.
No doubt.
The Shoshone people believe in having a hug from heart to heart. And
All
I
right.
think that
Did
it's... Well, let's try
Did we?
again.
Fair. It is enough.
Very nice.
Yeah.
So has you ever like been to the UK?
Yes, I have. I went to London.
Has you been to like Staines? That's where I was from. Staines.
No.
That whole area is very beautiful. It's got like a new McDonald's there.
McDonald's?
For real.
Oh, no.
No, but it's got an amazing, massive one.
Really?
It's got,
I
like,
try to avoid that stuff.
Is it more Burger King or
Me? No.
KFC?
None of it.
Is you going to be going down to the gate? Is you going to be doing a bit of protesting today?
Not today, I got to take off, but yeah, I went down there, you know, got in their face, it was pretty fun. And
Did you get arrested?
I didn't get arrested, but I have been arrested in the past.
With full respect, ain't you been a bit... Mark?
Chicken? Is that? Well,
Mark, you know,
yeah,
chicken.
Yeah. Well, you could be right on that.
Will you come down with me?
I get arrested.
Well, is you a bit of a park?
Oh.
Sure. You bet I am.
Is you on crack?
Huh? Where's that gold coming from? Who fucking mines that gold? You got Africa? He's got the
Yeah, no
Africa
doubt.
on this. Now, where does
No
where
doubt,
does gold come from Africa? Do you know how gold is mined? Do you know
Yeah.
the environmental devastation that has occurred by this gold? Do you know how many people are in bondage, literally slaves, over in Africa getting this gold so you can wear a gold Africa?
Is you by any chance a bit jealous? You know Day is all coming down here, so...
Who's coming down here?
There's going to be a big thing here.
That's their option.
One of them I met was saying like bad things about you lot, was saying that all your mums was slags and that you was cowards, was too cowardly to like arrest them and all that.
He's got his philosophy, we've got ours.
He's got like big beard, this geezer, like sunglasses on, massive beard. It's a bit depressing, this one, as you... Alright, so... I was feeling kind of the vibe of the earth thing. I was gonna do a protesting. I didn't know if people that I was talking with didn't know how they would walk in with, didn't know how I would go in with, and when I didn't know if, when, what, if, didn't know what, and it's gonna in defense, on defense, 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 it's talking about defense. I meant about something to do with defense, and the whole thing about rent. And when it's about rent and fence, and if you don't like that, then live in the tents, yo. That's what I'm saying, living in the tents, yo. Making it free, making it kind of funky, making the ladies touch their punani. That is wild, that is fly, cause all my bitches here is rocking their style. Take it away. Fresh. Fresh. Respect, yo, respect. Science. What is it all about? Technology. What is that all about? Is it good or is it whack? There's a bloke from around my hood, Staines, called Rainbow Jeremy, who reject everything to do with science. He just chill at home, he smoke his own homegrown, and check this, he don't have a telly. I ain't shitting you, he don't have a telly.
Yeah, he lives in a house, though.
And
that house is a product of technology.
No, he ain't got no technology in it. You can check out his website. He ain't got nothing in it.
It's got
a website.
The
He
house
wears clothes,
itself.
shoes.
What?
He eats food.
As computers made our lives better.
I don't think there's any question about it.
Will computers ever be able to work out what 99999999999999999999999 multiplied by 9999999? Yo, I ain't finished. You don't know what I was going to say. 998999999.88899889
9999999999999.
The answer is yes.
The most powerful computer in the world today does 36 trillion operations a second.
So would it be able to multiply 10, 10, 10, 10, 10, 10, 10, 10, 10, 10, 10, 10, 10, 10, 10, 10, 10, 10, 10, 10, 10, 10, 10, 10, 10? You don't know what I was going to say. Multiply, you don't even know. 10, 10, 10, 10, 10, 11, 11,
It doesn't make any difference.
13,
Whatever
40,
numbers you name, the
89,
computer will be
20,
able to handle it.
100, 100, 100, 100, 100, 100, 100, 100, 100, 100,
Yes.
million.
Yes.
Thousand,
Yes.
million.
Yes. Whatever
billion.
numbers you want,
And
it will be able to multiply.
0.99998.
Yeah.
Without blowing up.
Yes.
Yeah.
Going to move it on a little bit. Where did men come from?
Men evolved out of lower species in the way that all the species evolved out of lower species.
This is ridiculous. This is
What?
ludicrous. If he wants to believe this happened, he's welcome to believe his grandpa was Lucy and came down from his tree or something. But that is pure religion.
So you saying we ain't come down from monkeys?
No, monkeys are still having babies. Why don't they have another human today?
We're Homo sapiens, and that's about 8 steps down.
I ain't. I just want to make clear, because this is going out on the TV or whatever, that I don't do that stuff. I ain't got nothing against it.
Oh, it's the homo that threw him off. I mean, explain that.
It is a scientific nomenclature that describes who we are as part of a phyla or a stream of, you know, it goes hominid, hominoid, and then we go
whatever.
through.
There's different names for it.
We're all Homo sapiens.
All humans would be considered.
My wife is a Homo sapien.
But that's not homosexual.
We're all
That's what the difference is.
Yeah.
Yeah, well, it's just a way of describing who we are.
Well, that's it. You know, I just want to make clear your respect for coming on, and I ain't going to treat you differently now that that has come out. You know, that's safe.
No, it has nothing to
come out.
Come on now, you're confused here. Let's settle the confusion. All of people in the whole world, the biologists have in a group called Homo. And the particular human group below that is sapiens. And all that is Greek. It just means the Greek word for man smart.
Yeah, a lot of them is very talented.
It has nothing to do with homosexuals. It has nothing to do with the homos that you meet on the street. It's an entirely different lingo.
But
my point is...
So is you one of the homo lot?
I am a Homo sapien. I think all humans are Homo sapiens. You are too. Okay? You are too.
Yo.
The term homo and homo sapien has nothing at all to do with sex.
All right. Let's talk about when technology goes horribly wrong. Is there technologies that you won't use?
I try to avoid foods that have pesticide residues on them.
No disrespect, whatever, but does you use a toilet or does you just drop one in a hole?
Of course I use the toilet like I assume everybody here does, or I hope.
You'd use it, but would you flush?
Certainly, yeah, I absolutely.
So, would you use a toilet, or does you just drop it in a hole?
Oh, I've been to quite a few countries where they don't have toilets, and I'm very glad to get back to America.
So would you flush?
Oh, sure, and I think you should have a septic system that's properly designed to handle the waste.
You say that, but there's evidence backstage to the contrary. Was it you?
I have no idea what you're talking about.
You know what I was talking about.
No, I have no clue.
The floater. Covering it with paper don't make it all right, you know? That goes for the rest of you, whoever it was. Right, I ain't pointing any fingers, but I does have my suspicions.
Well, I don't, it was not me, if that's what you're saying. I would not, if I understand what you're even talking about, which I don't part of the time here.
You know what I was talking about, because if it was, then shame on you.
You're very confusing.
Yo, I ain't pointing fingers, yo, but is you the one backstage that didn't flush?
No, sir.
You know what I was talking about, because
if that's what you're talking about,
you know,
why you would talk about that on a TV program blows my mind.
Just saying, out of respect, and we're all talking about respect and whatever. Whoever it was, and I ain't just, you know, I don't care. Let's just...
Well, then go on to something else.
Let's put it to the side. But that ain't right. Shame on you.
I didn't do it. Don't say shame on me. I didn't do anything.
Just want to thank you all for coming on here. This was very interesting. Keep it real. Yo, respect. 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 Check it out. I is here with none other than my main man, Buzz Aldrin. I know this is a sensitive question, but what was it like not being the first man on the moon? Was you ever jealous of Louis Armstrong?
It was Neil Armstrong, and no, I was not jealous. He was a very, very qualified person. Yeah.
So, when you arrived on the moon, was the people who lived there very friendly, or was they scared of you?
There was absolutely no thought of encountering any living being whatsoever.
Do you think man will ever walk on the sun?
No. The sun is too hot. It is not a good place to go to.
What happens if they went in winter when the sun is cold?
The sun is not cold in the winter.
We know you've been asked this a zillion times. It must really get on your tits being asked it. But let's just sort it out. What do you say to all those conspiracy theorists who come up to you and say, does the moon really exist?
I don't think there are very many people who question whether the moon exists. It exists. And
all right, you was heard it here. It does exist. So all those people out there who were saying it don't, you was wrong.
That's right. The moon does exist, and we went there.
Yo, listen up. But how do they really know what exists and what is the conspiracy things? Because I know I have seen a picture of J-Lo with two, massive geezer's dongs there, and apparently it weren't true.
I haven't seen those pictures.
Well, you should check them out. It's amazing.
Okay.
Is you upset that Michael Jackson got all the credit for inventing the moonwalk, but you was the first geezer ever to actually do it?
No. You can call things by different names, and you can use the moon or Mars or Venus, and you can say this is the Venus trot. But that doesn't mean that it has any connection to what it would be like for a horse moving on Venus.
Yo.
The horse could trot on Venus, right?
Well,
Except it's very, very hot.
There's horse on Venus?
No. I'm just, neither is Michael Jackson on the moon.
I've got a joke about space. You want to hear it? There's a monster from outer space who is going on a trip around the universe, and him goes to the travel booker to book like a hotel on the moon, and the travel booker goes, you can't go to that hotel because the moon is full.
That's pretty good.
That is so wicked. That's wicked.
And the opposite of the moon being full is the new moon.
What?
That's when it's dark.
I thought it's funny because it means he's like full. He's like been eating.
I know.
Eating stuff. He's all well full and everything.
No, the hotel is full.
So, but why is it funny? Because the hotel is full.
I wasn't sure that it was funny. You said it was funny.
Why is it funny again?
Things are funny or comedic because they mix the real with the absurd.
No doubt.
And you took the moon, which is real, and the term full. And you applied that to either the hotel being full or the person being full. And that's an absurd condition, and that's what makes something funny, where you mix the absurd with the real.
Wicked. So listen up. You has heard about the moon and about space. You better learn about these things from my man Buzz Lightyear here. So you better realize that these things is important. Big up yourself, Buzz. Keep it real.
Eagle, you're looking great. Coming up 9 minutes.
Irmanal, Wagwan. Today we be chatting about the family. Does you think the way we is bringing up kids is changing?
Yes, we're raising them differently now. Some of it's great, some of it's not so great.
So at what age does you think parents should give their kids their first spliff?
I don't think they should do that because it's illegal in our society.
How's the kid going to know what's good shit and what ain't?
You know, I was a drug user for almost 3 years during my... everything but a needle. Everything else.
Does you think that parents should educate kids about sex?
Yes, I do. And I think that parents should answer kids' questions honestly, or even take the initiative.
So should parents invite the kids into the room while they is boning, or should they show them porno?
No.
But like me, Dad, when we asked him about sex, him said, "Yo, you hide in that kitchen cupboard tonight at 8 o'clock." Then 8 o'clock, he brought back this honey, much fitter than my mum, and him like boned her every which way while winking at me. And man, I still use some of them moves, like the crouching soldier, whatever. Ain't that right?
See, that sort of incident, to me, it seems disrespectful of your mother. So part of what
No, she went in the house.
I actually suspect that most kids, most places in the world, learn about sex because everybody sleeps in the same bedroom.
Or from animals.
Dogs.
How does you learn about sex from animals?
Well, you can watch them having sex.
Yeah, but that's kind of weird sex. People do it with animals like...
No, I'm not talking about, I'm talking about like a dog with a dog.
All right, let's talk about a difficult subject, a very tattoo subject, relationships in the family, or as it's called, incest.
Incest.
What?
Incest.
Whatever.
Yeah.
Does you think it's wrong that a brother can never marry his sister?
Yes.
I do.
Yes.
For real. Because once I was at my mate Jezzy F's 15th birthday party, and me didn't know she was my cousin, but there was this game where if you got locked in the cupboard, you had to bone her. Is that okay, or did I do insects?
The definition of incest does vary a great deal from culture to culture.
But what if you've got Halle Berry as your sister? You know, how is you going to stop yourself fancying her? Because if you don't fancy her, you is basically gay, isn't it?
No. You know, there are lots of boys who grew up with very attractive sisters, and they still want to pull their pigtails.
I mean, I is all right. My sister is, you know, she's a dog. Like, her body's all right, you know, her butty's like fine and she's got like amazing tits, but her face is like a real brown bagger, so I ain't got that problem. But is it always wrong to see your sister in a kind of sexual way? Because I feel weird about it. Like, all my mates in my hood of Staines say that she give the best blowies in the area. But I know I should feel proud about that, but I feel weird and uncomfortable, should I?
Sure. She's your sister.
You lot out there, family, you heard the different sides. You make her opinion. Be safe, keep it legal, respect. Some business idea that I just want to tell you about, and I'll be a fool if...
Very quickly.
What is the most popular thing in the world?
Music.
No.
Tell me.
Ice cream.
Okay.
Everyone has it. And what is the problem with ice cream?
I have no idea.
It drips.
Okay.
So my idea is what?
To make a drip-proof ice cream.
No. Oh, that's a fucking brilliant idea, this. All right, whatever. You ain't going to come out with that, though.
No, I promise you I won't.
Well, my idea is to come out with just like these ice cream gloves that make the ice cream not go on your hands and make it all well sticky. And also keep your hands warm when you is eating the ice cream.
Okay.
Is you in or is you in?
Okay, well, it sounds like a good idea, and I hope you make a lot of money. Good luck, folks. It's been nice seeing you. You take care of yourself, okay?
Is you going to be in on that?
Well, it sounds like an interesting...
We've got like P. Diddy is going to be in it.
Good.
Wagwan. Politics. Everyone has heard the word, but what does it really mean? I don't know. But the people around here knows. Is democracy all that?
I think one of the famous politicians, Winston Churchill, once said that something like that democracy is the worst form of government except for all the others.
That's right.
And I think what he meant...
That's right.
I think what he meant was... That's what he said. It's the worst form of government except for all the others. Others like dictatorships and totalitarian. He was talking about Hitler and Stalin and sort of comparing what it was like to live in these other systems that didn't have democracy.
But in England, we don't have democracy, and we do all right.
England is a democracy. You have democracy. It's just a little different from ours.
Well, does you live there?
I've lived there in England.
I've lived there too.
Well, I've lived there all my life, so I think I know a little bit more about this than
you
you.
know a lot more.
I'm sure you do.
You know, like, do you know England is part of Great Britain?
Yes.
Sure. All right, where's the capital?
The capital of which? Of
England.
Of England? London is what I thought was the capital.
All right. All right, so he does know your stuff. So why does so few young people vote?
Part of it is that they don't believe that their vote matters. They've got other things that they want to do with their time.
Wouldn't it be more better, instead of having a voting age, just saying, all right, if you has got pubes, you can vote?
I would be willing to try it in some smaller way, first as an experiment in something like that, and seeing if we did that, how that would work.
What does you think, Professor? Could you do that and just say, yo, if you've got pubes, you can vote. If you can't, you ain't an adult.
Well, one of the questions is, how do you prove that?
Well, I'd check the girls, all right?
Regardless of what anybody says about you, when you reach 18, you can vote.
But why 18? As we say on the street, if there's grass on the pitch, let's play.
But that has nothing to do with you being responsible for yourself.
Does you not agree if there's fluff on the muff, then she is old enough?
I suppose, in some way, if you're saying if a person is able to have a child, does that person get to be able to vote?
Shouldn't clever people get to vote more times than stupid people? Because I don't see any reason why I should get the same amount of votes as somebody who's an ignoramus.
I think that's a question that has challenged people for hundreds of years. And so, no, the answer to your question is no.
Is it true that more people vote for the winner of American Idol than voted for the president?
All I know is that about half the people who could vote for president vote, and about half don't.
So legally, should Ruben Studdard be president?
Okay, you have to remember, on American Idol, you can sit there at your phone all day and call every second, okay? It's not one vote, one person.
Does you think it's because he's black that he ain't president?
No.
It's different being president.
It is much different. And of course, people in the entertainment arena have become president. Ronald Reagan was a big Hollywood star.
And it's just happened again. Arnold Schwarzenegger, who was a big movie star his entire life, he started out and ran for governor of California.
Weightlifter, too, remember?
I think he's got it wrong. He probably played a role in a movie where he was a governor. He didn't actually become a governor. It's make-believe.
Actually, he did become a governor.
No. Just because he plays a Terminator, it don't mean he is. I used to think that he was the Terminator. Then, when I saw him in a different film, in Kindergarten Cop, we realized that obviously him weren't.
He is now governor of California. Honestly, I'm not lying to you.
So who's your guy that you hope is going to get president now?
Kerry, John Kerry. I'm supporting him.
But ain't that ridiculous? I mean, he's a very good actor. He was good in Pet Detective, whatever. But why should he have the right to be president?
Just you're thinking about Jim Carrey, I think.
Well, whatever. You said Jim, we said John.
John Kerry, different person.
Different person.
Different person.
Different person.
I know it's a different person.
John
Kerry. His on-screen personality and him off-screen. I'm sure he's into politics.
No. I'm not campaigning right now for anyone who has been in a movie.
20 years ago, women didn't have the vote, but nowadays equal. Does you think in 20 years' time, animals will have the vote?
No. I don't think that.
Why not?
It would be so hard to be able to prove that almost every animal that we know about could understand what they're voting about.
Wicked. Keep it real. Respect.
Very
All right.
fine.
Respect.
Very fine.
Take
Very
care.
fine.
Respect.
Respect.
Yo,
Respect.
respect.
Magic about?
It's loosely based on like James Bond, but it's for like TV.
Well, I've seen that over and over and over and over again. TV. There's nothing new there. Well,
I've done like an 8 minutes thing.
Let me see this. Let me see this here. I'll watch a little bit of it.
Damn!
This was good.
Okay, I got the idea. All right. This is not in a genre that I'm interested in.
But you ain't even giving it a chance.
I'll give it a chance. I'm not interested in it.
But people will switch on even when they see the title James Bond.
I'm not interested in it. Thank you very much. I'm not interested in it. I can make it any more clear. I'm not interested. I'm not interested in it. I'm as clear as I could possibly be. I am not interested in it.
I want you to just level with me and don't, you know, if you like it, say you like it. If you don't, say it.
I try to say it to you.
There's another idea that I've got.
I have time for one
it's
pitch.
Like a version of Who Wants to Be a Millionaire, but with more cash.
I really have to. I have another appointment coming. Thank you for your time.
It's Who Wants to Be a Billionaire. I is here with the geezer who was the Secretary General of the United Nations. His name be none other than my man, Boutros Ghali. How many countries is in the UN?
If I'm not wrong, according to the last statistics, you must have more than 180 countries.
Is Disneyland a member of the UN?
No, because Disneyland is not an independent state.
Do you think in 100 years' time, Disneyland or Disney World could have a seat?
No. Disneyland is not doing politics. Disneyland is doing...
Well, some of them is. Some of them characters.
It is for the young children.
How many languages is spoken at the UN?
You have practically what we called 5 languages.
But which is the funniest language? It's French, isn't it?
Not necessarily. Maybe Arabic is more funny.
Oh, yeah.
It depends to whom.
To you, what was the one that when the delegate went up and started speaking, you was like, I got to go to the bar.
I'm not allowed to do this. I'm the Secretary General.
Yeah, but there must have been one when they were going up there, and you just go, hey.
I have to have a poker face like this.
Do you speak French?
Yes.
How do you say shit in French?
Chic.
Shit. Like crap, rubbish.
Ah. Oh. De la merde.
How do you spell that?
M-E-R-D-E.
M-A-R-D-E. Thanks for that. We want to say big up yourself, Boutros Ghali. Respect.
Here we are in the Security Council chamber
Wicked.
of the United Nations. This room was donated by the government of Norway.
All right, safe. So what happens here?
Here, 15 countries that come from different regions of the world discuss about world peace and security.
Safe. Respect. What's that, Jordan? Ain't it stupid letting one sportsman have his own seat, no matter how, powerful he is?
Well, that is not Michael Jordan. If you're referring to that gentleman, that is the state of Jordan in the Middle East.
Well, that's what you was telling the cameras, but ain't we all equal? Ain't it ridiculous letting one person have the same power as a whole country?
Well, again, it's not the person that is sitting there. It's the government of the state of Jordan from the Middle East.
Is it named after Michael Jordan?
It is not named after Michael Jordan.
Does this country really exist?
Yes, it does.
What's this?
Guinea. It's a country in Africa, the Republic of Guinea.
Is that a real country?
Yeah, it is a real country in Africa. It's quite a large country as well.
With full respect, why do you give crap countries a vote?
Well, that's your opinion of Guinea. That is definitely not shared in this organization.
I was looking around. Where is Africa represented? Don't see it nowhere.
Well, Guinea.
Where? Where's Africa?
This is a country in Africa represented.
So you claim?
This is a earphone used by all of these people that sit here to listen to the meetings in 6 different languages.
Ain't it dangerous, though, having translators?
Why do you think that? Why do you say that?
Because let's say the translator is a double agent or something like that. He can say, well, dodgy stuff like apparently the Vietnam's war was started when Saddam Hussein got in a translator role, and he was going to send in an email to the president of Thailand and to just ask him for a cup of tea, but the translator role put in something that turned out to like, your mum is a whole and nice boulder, and the Thai person got well eggy, and then that's what happened. That's how the Vietnam's war started, didn't it?
Well, I'm not sure that your recount of the story is correct. It might very well be, but as far as
Well, that is the word on the street.
Okay.
How does you choose who sits next to who?
It goes in English alphabetical order, from A to Z.
Can you swap if the person next to you is really annoying you?
Can you swap? No, I don't think you can, no. Yes, that is no.
What happens, does you ever separate people if they is mucking around? Like if they is chucking stuff at the president, Kofi?
Well, no, that has never happened, as far as I know, so that has not been a necessity, no. At 3 o'clock, there is a meeting taking place here.
In like 10 minutes?
10 minutes, yes. A meeting taking place here to discuss the situation in Iraq.
Can we be in the meeting?
No, you can't.
What about
we can't, because...
What about just me?
Nobody can. No public is allowed here for security reasons.
So what's going on in Iraq that we should know about?
Okay, Iraq is suspected of producing weapons of mass destruction.
Wicked.
Gas and nuclear weapons.
What a laugh. And where does the boss man sit?
Well, the Secretary General sits right here.
He sit here?
Yes.
Wicked. Can we sit here?
Definitely.
I was just written that Saddam Hussein is a bellend.
Okay.
Booyakasha! Diggity, check this out, because I is here with none other than my main man, General Brent Scowcroft. Him was the national security advisor to George Bush, who was the president of America, and also to some geezer called Ford. Is fighting the most harmful thing you can do to the other side? Ain't the most harmful thing you can do is to call them nasty names?
Not really, not for countries.
Let's imagine we was back all those years ago when you was fighting Russia.
Mm-hmm.
If the president had gone over to the head of Russia and said, yo, Boris or whatever, stop being such a he would have felt this small.
Well, as a matter of fact, we did that.
Did you go,
Well, not you.
But what?
Well, you don't do that in diplomatic circles.
But did you do a kind of spaz kind of impression?
No.
When should a nation nuke another one?
That's a very good question. That's a very good question. I would say only if it's very vital interests are involved.
Do you think America should nuke Canada?
No.
Why not?
Well, because first of all, we don't have any real significant problems with Canada.
But if you nuked Canada, the amazing thing would be the element of surprise. Them would never expect it. And then you could take all their, everything they got there.
We don't want what they have.
Well, they must have something good up there.
Oh, they have a lot of things good. They have a lot of gold.
And
they have a lot
those
of oil.
cow things with the horns.
Moose.
All right. If you is an officer, what is the bestest tactic in battle?
To win.
Ooh.
What
does that mean?
The best tactic you can do is to maneuver so that you surprise the enemy.
So is the bestest tactic surprise?
Sure it is.
Because that makes me think of, ooh,
yes.
Did that surprise you?
Yes.
That did, didn't it?
And when you surprise somebody, you have the advantage because you know what you're doing. And he doesn't. He's not prepared.
That's true, because I was thinking that,
Yeah.
Yo.
Exactly.
Did that...
And most of the great generals in history have figured out how to surprise the enemy, do something they don't anticipate.
No. I understand what you're saying because
Exactly.
Yeah, I was trying to. Does he understand? I was trying to surprise you.
No, and it's exactly that concept.
Is the army worried about the threat of chemical and biological weapons?
Sure.
Did they ever catch the people that sent Tampax through the post?
No, they did not. It wasn't Tampax, it was anthrax.
All right, I think there's different brand names.
Well, it may be, but anthrax is the germ. Tampax is something very different.
We just want to say big up yourself, General Scowcroft. You was helped us out here, and you know the interesting. Ooh, the surprise thing. Yo, the surprise thing. But we just want to say, all you lot out there, listen to the words of my man, the General. And I ain't shitting you. He really is a General Scowcroft here, because him has said enough important things about warranting. You better listen up. Don't get mashed up. Keep it real. Never had an idea before. How does you know when you has had one?
Right. How do you know? When you say, wow, for a business idea?
I mean, like, I had the idea of, like, eating chicken or switching on the telly or something, but I've never had an idea.
Right. For a business idea. Right.
Well, whatever.
Right. If you had all the money in the world, this is a good exercise. Yeah. And you can do anything with this money to make your life easier. What's the first thing you would invent?
Like free bitches.
That it's a good place to start.
Always like, just up for anything.
Right. Okay. And there's could be a good business.
If me tell someone my idea, how does I know they ain't gonna nick it?
That's tough. People usually do.
Because like when the PlayStation 1 came out, me was telling me Julie, what would be wicked would be if they brought out something that was better than this.
Right.
And then 2 years later, what come out?
Right.
PlayStation 2.
Right.
How does you think they got the idea from me?
Maybe Julie told them, I don't know, but the fact is that people...
she did, and...
And if she did, well then,
then
you're going to have to talk to her. Yeah,
that is serious.
Sure.
Because there's something called trust.
Absolutely.
It is ice cream.
Do you want me to eat this?
No.
No, okay.
What's my idea?
Lay it on me.
The ice cream glove. That's a C, which means that you can't nick it.
All right.
Have you seen one of these things before?
Sure.
Everyone in school learns these things.
Sure.
Venn diagrams.
Sure.
People who like ice cream. People who has hands.
Sure.
What's this section here? That's our target market, isn't it?
Okay.
We did an intranet search for ice cream. We come back with 6,121 result. We did an intranet search for the gloves. How much results did we get? 325, 0, 113. So you times those together, what does you get? This is just people on the internet looking in. 203 zillion, whatever, 496,400, and then a 1. Check this out. If all those people bought one glove at $19.99, just one glove, business would be worth, wait for it.
I'm waiting.
That much. That is such a big number, I couldn't fit it that way. That in English, 34.6 billion dollars. How does we promote this company? We promote it with the strongest image.
All right. All right, that's different.
Naked woman on a horse. Shaven or with like bush, whatever. You know, money talks, pubes walk.
All right.
This may be This may be the worst idea I've ever heard.
I actually don't dislike the idea.
Self-respect.
Yeah, but I don't dislike the idea. You could use it, you know. It's not, there's something to it.
This is not going to happen.
I've got another business idea.
Okay. What is that?
What's this?
That is a skateboard. No. It is a toothbrush. No.
Don't be...
Okay, good. What is it?
Grow up, brain. What is it? We'll tell you what it is.
Oh.
It's a hoverboard.
I don't understand what you mean.
It's a hoverboard. As you've seen Back to the Future.
Yeah.
As you've seen the bit where they jump on the board and it flies around.
Yeah.
It's in the future.
Yeah.
That film must have been about 10 years ago. No one has even thought about making that thing.
But it doesn't do that.
It doesn't do it yet. That's where you lot come in. You come up with the science.
We don't do that. This is nothing. It's a film.
Well,
It's a
they must have
story.
used the board from somewhere. They made one of them that
No.
worked.
No.
So how did he jump on it and fly all around and do all the chases then?
It's called special effects. How do they do anything in a movie? Good luck. You gonna put on the glove before you shake my hand? Okay, good luck, man.
I is here with my main man. His name be Newt Gingrich, and him was the leader of the House of Representatives. Is that right?
Yes,
Do you think a woman will ever be president?
absolutely.
Ain't there a problem that if there is a woman president, they're going to spend all their time on facials, shopping, and getting new shoes?
I think if you said that to most women who could be president, you'd be surprised how tough they are.
But ain't you worried that the whole cabinet would be like Brad Pitt on Defence and George Clooney on Elf, you know, because him from ER, you know, and you've just got like all these other good-looking geezers and King Dong in the background,
We've already been through it before. I mean, as I said, Margaret Thatcher was probably one of the 3 best prime ministers of the 20th century.
But wouldn't there be a danger that they'd like fall in love with someone bad like Saddam Hussein?
No more than there is for a man.
Yeah, but women, they love bastards.
I don't have any. I think that's just. I think that's a stereotype. I don't think. There's
No,
any,
but
any,
I know from me experience, the worse you treat them, the more they want you. And he could be like doing bad things to the US all the time and shit. It will just get more and more horny.
I don't think that kind of woman would get to be president any more than some guy who's easy to push around. People who get pushed around easily don't get to be president.
But ain't there the problem that if he declares war, she'll just start crying and everything?
The kind of woman who would rise to be president, I think, would be very comfortable saying, if you really want to fight, we'll do what it takes.
But not if she
Otherwise,
was
they
in
wouldn't
love
get
with
there.
him.
Well,
Treat him rough, you get your muff. That's what they say on the street.
I think I think whoever you dated is probably different than the kind of people who get to be president.
How does you make countries do stuff you want?
Well, the way you deal with countries in foreign policy on foreign policy issues, I think that's what you're asking me.
No doubt.
Is you deal with carrots and sticks.
But what country is gonna want carrots, even if there is like 1 million tons of carrots that you was giving over there?
Well, carrots, I'm not using that term literally. You might offer foreign aid to money, okay, money.
Money is better than carrots. Even if a country love carrots and that is like the favorite national food, if they get given like billions of tons...
Don't get hung up on carrots, that's just a figure of speech.
So would you ever send carrots? You know, is there any situation?
No.
What about in a famine? What about in a
Carrots
famine?
themselves? No.
Was it embarrassing working as a secretary? Did it have the same kind of stigmata as being a male nurse?
Well, I think it was, the word secretary, of course, is used in different ways.
Why do you think politicians use so many words that young people just don't understand? like discussion or conflict. Only Chi-Chi men would use them words.
No, I don't think so. I think you'd find those in high schools in America and classrooms everywhere you go.
But surely if politicians used words like holla, swallow back, check this out, all my peeps in your cribs, all your mofos out there, swallow this, booyakasha wagwan, then people would hear it and understand, innit?
That's crazy. You can't find me 5 people in the entire country of America who could understand what you just said.
That ain't true.
Not 5. Not 5 people.
I could find you 5 billion. Cost of your jobs, you must know a lot of secrets that happened back then.
Well, it's been 10 years ago. I don't remember very many of them.
What about Hillary Clinton? Does she drink from the furry cup?
I don't know Hillary. I don't know anything about it.
But does she eat from the bushy bowl?
I don't know anything about it.
If she does, just cough.
I don't know anything about it. So what's the deal? Is this your interview technique?
No, I was just waiting to see if you coughed or not.
This is your interview technique? This interview is over. Let's come. The guy's an idiot.
Yo, boom, boom, shake the mofo room. I is here with the main man of medicine, his name B.C. Everett Koop. So all you lot out there need to listen up, because you is as likely to be killed by an illness as you is by a drive-by. So let's talk about the human body, because after all, everyone has got one of them. So we is meant to believe. How important is the heart?
The heart is the pump that makes the blood take all the things that you need nutritionally to all parts of your body.
Why is the actual heartbeat so old-fashioned? You know, boom, 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 boom.
That's a built-in mechanism in the heart that is, it's electrical.
But surely, like, my homies out there would be more into looking after their heart if they had a beat that they could relate to, like a kind of drum and bass, you know. Then they would look after it and go, yo, this is me heart, respect it.
No, you're way off base there.
But why can't we use technology and, let's say, take out some of the bit, with all respect, boring organs and stick in like a CD player and like wicked speakers, you're like booming out, it's like a walking sound system. That would be wicked, man.
It would be wicked is what you say, it would be impossible is a better word.
Well, what about sticking a mobile phone in there? Surely there's space for that.
You just don't know what you're talking about. What do you think would happen to your body with the cell phone in there?
Well, it would be able to answer calls and all that kind of thing.
No, you'd start to bleed, you'd start to get infection, and before long, if nobody intervened, you'd be dead.
What is the brain?
The brain is the thing that you have to have. Without the brain, nothing else works.
Is the brain's memory any good?
The brain's memory is perfect.
So how come I can't remember my PIN number?
Well,
I think it's got like a 4 in it.
I could give you a quick answer and say you're stupid, you know.
Well, that obviously ain't the real reason.
Well, it's the beginning of truth.
Does all of us really have bones, or is it just what the media want us to believe?
You all have bones.
We know this is a generalization, but why is all skeletons involved in evil stuff?
That's just... skeletons are the last thing that disappear.
How fast do bones grow?
They grow very remarkably until you're a certain age, and then when you go through puberty, bones stop growing in length.
How come some bones can grow in like a few seconds, like a few inches?
That can happen.
But how come the dong bone can,
It's not a bone. It's not a bone.
It is a bone, isn't it?
No, it isn't a bone.
But it does grow well quickly. I've got like 11 girls, or I can prove it. They can give you written evidence.
It's not bone.
Do you reckon it's ever okay to end someone's life?
No, I do not.
But like with my cat, when him had a broken leg, we took him to the vet.
Your cat is not a human being.
Well, my cat was a human being.
No, Please don't confuse me. Your cat was not a human being. Nobody in the world believes a cat is a human being.
Yeah, but it had human feelings, though.
No, he doesn't have human feelings.
It was sad sometimes.
I'm sure it's sad.
It was sad when they had to book at it because of the leg. Let's talk about a big thing. Death. D-E-F. I was talking about the thing that happens to you, you know, a few weeks after you was alive. That's bad, isn't it?
Yeah, you don't spell it that way, though. It's D-E-A-T-H.
So what is the chances that me will eventually die?
That you will die? 100%. I can guarantee that 100%. You will die.
Right, he was being a bit of a pessimist there.
No, I'm being an absolute realist.
I didn't realize he was a player hater. I'd like to get a second opinion on that.
There is nobody that I know who has a mind and a brain who doesn't know that everybody will die.
I like to think that 4 out of 5 people is definitely going to have the death thing happen to them. 1 out of 5. God bless. Keep going. Keeping it strong. Oh.
You will eventually find you're wrong.
Keep it real. Yo, big up yourself. Diggity, check yourself before you wreck yourself. I is here with none other than my man, Ralph Nader. Him be the Green Party presidential candidate in the year 2000. So, what is happening with the rainforests?
They're being cut down very fast.
But what's the big deal about rainforests? It's not like anyone's ever lived in them.
Oh, sure, you have a lot of native peoples who live in them.
But surely they would be well happy to get out of there. It must be crap living there. No Mackie D's, no KFCs, no way to drive around anywhere, all these monkeys plopping on your head. Who would want to stay there? You'd have to be absolutely mental.
You wouldn't like it.
But why would anyone want to live there with the risk of a monkey dropping one on your head?
But first of all, the monkeys aren't eager to search out these natives and plop on them.
Yeah, but it ain't impossible.
I've never heard of a case.
How should people out there lessen the amount of electricity they use?
Well, there's a lot of waste. You know, you leave your house or your flat and you leave the electricity on.
Me sometimes get the electricity meter and me put like a coat hanger in one of the clogs, and that seems to stop it. Or you can use magnets and
then
change the number.
Then you can't turn the lights on, you mean?
No, you can turn the lights on, but the numbers don't go up.
Oh, yeah, that's rigging the meter, though. Yeah, that's a violation.
So do you think if it was legal, people should do that here?
No, because it doesn't reduce the amount of electricity you use.
So how come the number ain't going up?
Because someone is interfering with the meter.
All right, well, it's well easy to be negative. I was only trying to help you out.
Right, no, I appreciate that.
Is natural gases running out?
No.
Why don't you get humanoids who make a lot of natural gas to maybe squeeze one out into a box or something like that and use that energy?
Well, you already have tens of millions of cattle, but they haven't figured out how to put a box on their asshole.
The selling factor here, the cast. We knows this girl who also lives in Staines called Melanie Gibson. I was hoping to get her involved, and then we can put on the posters starring Mel Gibson.
Okay, but in this country, actors, if they have a name that's already taken, do you know they can't even use their legal name?
She's known by a lot of her mates as Mel.
And that's
like, Mel, yo, can you go? Like, officially, if she's like applying for a job, Melanie.
Right.
But once she is in there, yo, Mel, has you got, what is you up to tonight, Mel?
She might have a little problem clearing the name with the Screen Actors Guild if you do it here in the States.
Me would raise like loads of cash by threatening to cuss companies if they didn't hand over cash. So let's say we ask McDonald's, you know, do you want to help fund the program? If them say no, then we say, all right, we're going to have someone eating a Big Mac and then dying of cancer.
Well, that's almost tantamount to blackmail.
But let's say I rang up McDonald's, spoke to the main man, and say, yo, Ronald, give me the cash.
What I think is that you have to be positive in your approach.
So maybe we'll show you the tape.
I can't believe it. It's a lady.
Thanks for saving my life.
What is it? I was in the middle of having sex.
It better be important. Wow, that is fucking important.
What, there's a bomb? Alright, I just got to finish myself off.
Thanks.
Before you leave me, I didn't catch your name.
My name is James Bond. James Bond. Do you want to produce it?
No. No, it's not my kind of show.
My other idea is this. A police dog has died. And its spirit has gone into the chief of police. And it is called Hot Dog Cop.
Does this police chief know what's going on? Does he understand it?
That's the best thing about it. He ain't got no idea.
What happens when it takes over?
Him can speak to the dogs. Him can run like a dog, well fast. But also, he does the dirty stuff that dogs do as well. Like he'll do a, suddenly he can't control himself, do one.
I think it would take a very ingenious script to make it work.
You would need a dog to help write some of it.
And by that, what do you mean?
The dog bits. Is art nouveau? 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 Nouveau?
Art Nouveau.
Whatever.
Yeah, whatever. Whatever. Art Nouveau was a style toward the end of the 19th century.
What is Art Deco?
New York is an Art Deco city, you might say.
So what is Art Garfunkel?
Art Garfunkel is just a singer.
Ain't that confusing for young people?
It may be, but it would astonish me if it were.
I once painted my Julie with some chocolate body paint. Is that art?
The interesting question is not yes or no, but why?
Well, I did it because I thought, you know, it would turn her on. But it didn't. It didn't even taste the chocolate and it looked like she'd shat the bed.
Yeah. It might still have been art, but it didn't do what you wanted it to do.
No diggity. Check this out. I is with none other than my main man, Sam Donaldson. Him be the boss man of ABC News. And today we is chatting about the media. Let's talk about when the media actually changed events in politics. Does you remember when the two journalists brought down the government over the scandal of Waterworld?
Well, Watergate here.
Well, I think it's Waterworld, and you're confusing it with Stargate.
Well, are you talking about when we had a president named Nixon?
For real?
And there was a burglary at a complex called Watergate.
There ain't no connection between this and the bloke from Dances with Wolves.
No. That's where I thought you were going. Waterworld was a very bad movie, in my estimation.
Yo, no doubt. Why don't they make that clearer to young people?
That's what we're doing. That's what you're doing.
Respect.
Congratulations.
What is bias?
We all have biases, meaning we have an idea of the way things are without reference to what we actually can see.
So how does you stop journalists putting little words in that is hints of how them actually feel? Like say, yo, today President Bush, who is a dong, talked about the economy. Would they be allowed to say that?
Well, you could say that, but if I were your boss, I'd fire you.
But how does you stop the journalists giving over their opinions just by their body language? Saying, yo, today President Bush, and then spoke to the vice president, you know.
If you did that, I'd fire you. I couldn't stop you, but I'd fire you and you wouldn't be on the next day going, no.
So, has a journalist ever been fired for being biased and doing things like that?
I don't know of an American journalist who's done things like that.
So what does you do when there ain't nothing that's happened in the news that day?
There's always something that happened.
But if it's a bit of a boring day for news, does you sometimes make a headline on the newspaper saying war begins?
Well, if there's no war that begins, but you say war begins, no one's going to buy your newspaper the next day because they'll be on to the fact that you don't know what you're talking about.
But you could always put on page 2, war begins with a W. Or that is how you spell it, isn't it?
Yeah.
For real, so you ain't lying. But everyone would buy your paper because no one else is reporting on this. Yo, so let's get the one with all the war thing in it. Wicked. Oh, it begins with a W. I knew that, but let me read some other things. So, does people get their news now more from telly or from newspapers?
Television in this country.
Ain't the problem with newspapers that after about a week, the news is well out of date?
Oh, they are. You buy a newspaper every day to find out what the latest news is.
Well, you don't need to buy it every day.
What do you mean you don't need to buy it? You don't need to do anything except pay taxes and die.
Yo, well, you don't always have to pay taxes. I know I ain't, but...
Is this a confession right now?
No.
Should I call the law?
No, because I don't, because of, it's a complicated thing. I can't really chat about it here, whatever. Right. Yo, so let's talk about...
Call the law. Go ahead.
Yeah, no, don't. Shit. My mic sounds nice, check 1. Check it out, AZ with none other than my main man, Daryl Gates. Him was the chief of Los Angeles Police. What was it like being the head of the NYPD?
Not NY, LAPD.
Well, you say tomato, I say potato. I think that's a language thing, isn't it?
Yeah, LA, Los Angeles Police Department. NYPD is New York Police Department.
Is it true in LA there's loads of celebrities?
Oh, yes, celebrities. Yes, lots of celebrities.
Was there any famous people that your police had to arrest?
I'm sure you saw the O.J. Simpson.
For real? I've seen him on the tele.
Yeah, and he was the one that was accused of killing his wife.
But ain't it wrong for the police to start getting involved in murders on a cartoon? Surely what the Simpsons do...
Oh, no.
It's just like, it's make-believe, you know.
Oh, you're talking about different Simpsons. I'm talking about a man, a real man, who was...
He killed Marge.
Yeah, no, a real man. He's called O.J. Simpson.
Yo. So is drugs a real problem?
Drugs in the United States have been a problem for many, many years.
Has you ever heard of people swallowing connies full of drugs?
Oh, sure. Sure.
How long does it take for the connie usually to come out the other end?
Well, depends on how long it takes you.
Would you be concerned if it hadn't come out 8.5 days after the geezer had swallowed it?
If it didn't come out within 48 hours, I think they'd be very concerned.
If someone is trying to get it out and prunes and dates ain't working, what should they try?
They'd probably try castor oil, something, milk of magnesia, castor oil, something.
All right, wicked. Yo, check it out. You has heard the words of my man, Chief Bill Gates. Him has shown that crime ain't something that you should do. It's something that you should... What is we going to do today?
I'm going to take you around and show you some of the areas where we had a lot of gang violence and some of our more urban areas here in the Washington, D.C. area.
Is signs an important thing in gangs?
Absolutely. Hand signs are a way for gang members to communicate with each other.
What does stacking mean?
Stacking means gang members using hand signals to identify themselves and to talk to each other and to identify to other gangs what crew or what gang they're with.
I think I might have seen someone doing that, because at my hotel there was this like middle-aged man and a middle-aged woman, and they was obviously gang members because they was throwing up gang signs to each other for about an hour.
Are you sure they're not deaf and they were just talking to each other?
What?
You know what I'm saying? Maybe they're hearing impaired and they were just hand signing. Like
well, they was doing all like, you know, all that. I didn't know all the gang sign, but literally not a word for like an hour.
Well, it's possible that they were just deaf.
So is there a massive deaf gang?
No. No, not that I know of.
Is it dangerous for people to do shadow puppets in the ghetto?
Well, you do the wrong thing anywhere. You make the wrong sign or something like that, and somebody perceives it as something bad, they're going to take action.
For real?
Yeah.
Because in UK you only do like that one and whatever, the crocodile, whatever, but could that lead to getting shot?
It could, depending upon where you are and what neighborhood. Sure.
Can you do the one that looks like it goes...
Which one's that?
You know, if you put your hands like that.
Yeah.
Put your hands like that?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, that one?
Then like look in there, have a look in there, look exactly like it, you know what I'm saying? Look exactly like it. Yeah. That ain't a gang sign though, is it? No. So what does ATF stand for?
Alcohol, tobacco, firearms, and explosives.
And what else does you sell?
We don't sell anything.
All right.
So what we do here is provide a product for police officers worldwide, the explosive detection capability with the dogs.
How many people works in the different branches?
Right here, at the center here, we have 23 people assigned here to take care of the canine training.
Why does you use canines? Wouldn't it be more better to use dogs?
Right. Well, dog's just a slang term for the canine.
But you use mainly dogs, or does you use mainly canines?
In the United States, canine and dog, it's kind of an interchangeable word.
All right, for real.
Okay. Most of the dogs we get are black in color. We do get some yellows, and rarely we get some chocolate-colored ones, too.
Ain't that a bit racialist, getting mainly black dogs to do this?
Oh, not at all. That's just a part of the Labrador Retriever breeding. The black dogs are predominant.
But ain't it a bit racialist saying, all right, this is dangerous work, let's get the brothers in to go and find the bombs?
That has nothing to do with that.
Why does you choose dogs to decide where bombs is? Why don't you choose a more intelligent animal like a dolphin?
And again, that would be quite difficult to have a fish tank on a cart.
But I don't know if you know this, but dolphins ain't fish.
Right.
They is like us, there's memories.
Correct. But they have to get back to a water source every now and again, and that's what they say, the extent of work you'd have to go into versus a dog. And then again, I don't know how good their sense of smell is compared to a dog.
Right.
Dogs are proven, they've been used for a lot of years because of their phenomenal sense of smell.
So why does they stick their noses so close to each other's body?
Again, dogs, they give out different scents. They let the other dogs know what's going on. That's why they're constantly smelling each other.
Because I once smelled a dog's ass and it was horrible. Why does they do it?
Different perception, though. Something that's unpleasant to you isn't unpleasant to them.
Has you ever smelled a dog's ass?
Can't say I have. This is Dabby.
What?
This is Dabby. And this is John.
Hello.
John.
Dabby?
Oh, the dog's name.
Oh, all right, safe. When they actually find the bomb, how long does it take the dog to defuse it?
The dog has nothing to do with that. The only thing that we use the dogs for, what we train the dogs for, is to locate what we call a suspicious item.
For real. Where does you get the dogs from?
We get the dogs from different guide dog agencies.
All right. So does you interview the dogs, or does you get like one of the senior dogs to do it?
The different trainers actually will go up and will evaluate the dogs.
Why don't you use one of the dogs who's been here for like years to interview them? Because they will know whether it is good or bad.
Right. Well, we like to send, our dogs are busy. They're out looking for explosives, so they don't have the time to go up there and interview the other dogs, so we do it ourselves.
So can these dogs smell drugs?
No.
Thank God.
Not at all.
Yo, respect.
You're safe.
What?
Why? How does he know?
You said thank God.
Well, say that out loud.
Yeah,
I don't have anything on me.
you're all set.
Booyakasha! Check this out. The election in America is a well important thing. So you better understand the politics of it. That's why I was here with none other than my main man, Mr. Patrick Buchanan. So you better listen up and recognize. So how long was you president for?
0.
What?
I didn't make it. I failed.
Ain't there the problem if you have an election every however many years, that if someone don't tell the whole truth, you've got him for like 4 years, isn't it?
If the people make a mistake, they have to live with it for 4 years, or they get their Congress to throw the president out.
But sometimes people lie to get in. Like when me went for my interview for McDonald's in Staines, me said that me would work well hard. But the moment me got in there, me was eating like 15 McChicken sandwiches a day and selling little bit of McGunja on the side. And them only actually chucked me out when them found me wearing the Ronald McDonald costume, boning me Julie in the box.
Here's what you do, though. When you're there, then your organization has rules whereby they can throw you out.
All right.
We have rules whereby you can throw out the president.
Does you think that religion should be taught in schools?
If it's voluntary, yes. If it's mandatory, no.
Does you think there's a way for people to make the way them teach religion more interesting?
Yes. The movie, The Passion of the Christ, is a very effective teaching tool, I think.
I heard that it ain't as good as Lethal Weapon 3.
No, I think it's slightly better than Lethal Weapon 3.
Ain't it basically a bit of a rip-off of Gladiator?
No, it's not at all.
But it's like that kind of thing, isn't it?
No, it's about the death and crucifixion of Christ.
Ain't you scared, though, that because it's made so much cash, it will just make a sequel and it won't be as good, like, you know, have the bloke
Probably.
come back to life, whatever? What else is the election going to be fought on this year?
It'll probably be about Iraq.
Does you think that Saddam's ever was able to make these weapons of mass destruction, or whatever, or as they is called, BLTs?
Was Saddam able to make them?
Could he make BLTs?
Yes. At one time he was using BLTs on the Kurds in the north.
Was it worth fighting a war over BLTs?
I don't think Saddam Hussein and Iraq were a threat to the United States, even if they had WMDs or BLTs, as long as they weren't nuclear weapons.
If you had the evidence that Saddam had these BLTs in his house, would you have said yes, attack?
Not unless if he had anthrax, if he had mustard gas.
Whatever
No.
he put in them.
No. If he had mustard gas, no.
Let's say he didn't have mustard and the BLTs just was plain. Would you been able to go in there then?
No.
Is it ever worth fighting a war over sandwiches?
Is it ever worth fighting a war? Yes.
If you becomes president again, what will you do?
I would change the whole country dramatically, and that's why I'm not going to be president.
Yo! Yo, for real. I was feeling that, man. Yo. Yo, was you mashed or something? You was like so giggly.
Well, I'm...
You had a little puff before?
No, yeah, a little puff before, sure.
Respect. Yo. You need a bit of some of my own imports. We'll talk business after. Yo, so listen, you lot out there, you better listen up to the words of my man Buchanan, because him know things about America and the election. Listen up, word up, keep it real, West Side. Big up yourself.
Good day.
Safe. What be your name?
I'm Dr. George Washington.
What?
Dr. George Washington.
All right, wicked. So does vets mainly look after sick animals?
No, we do a lot of preventive medicine, reproductive work, and everything.
Why was there so many sick animals in Vietnam?
There wasn't that many sick animals in Vietnam.
But weren't there like millions of Vietnam vets?
You're confusing terminology here. Okay, a veterinarian is a doctor of veterinary medicine. He's a person that treats animals.
For Will. So, I was getting it. So, loads of people went to Vietnam and then treated animals there.
No. You're confusing the term.
All right.
I'm a veteran, but I'm also a veterinarian because I served time as a veterinarian in the military.
For Will. So why do so many of those people from the military then later on in life want to start working with animals?
They don't. They can do anything they want to. There's no relation between a veteran of the military and a veterinarian.
Respect. And you is?
I'm both.
Oh man, that's so confusing. I don't understand it. So to make this clear to young people out there, people who fights in wars is called veterinarians.
No.
People who
are called veterans.
Whatever. Veterans. People who does the animal thing is called veterans.
No, veterinarians.
Veterinarians. Respect.
V-E-T-E-R-I-N-A-R. It's veterinarians.
When you was a kid, did you know that you wanted to grow up and be a veteran?
Well, you're still confusing. Just forget the word veteran.
All right.
Please.
How often is animals actually sick and how often is they faking it just so them can get a day off work?
Animals aren't faking it to get a day off work.
But what does you do if there's like a knock on your door and there's like a goat out there, whatever, and he says he's got flu, but you know he's lying? Does you tell the farmer?
The goat doesn't talk to us. It's the farmer that talks to us.
So is there a lot of sex diseases with animals?
There are a few, but not many that's transmitted.
Is that because most animals wear connies?
No.
So is you saying that the man cows just whip it out and jizz over their Babylons, or what?
No.
So how does they stop getting them preggers? So is there any animals that ain't been discovered yet?
There could be. They've just found some in some of the jungles, different places that they didn't know exist.
Has you got any photos of the ones that ain't been discovered?
No.
All right, what about a video or something like...
Well, if you had a video, they'd have been discovered.
All right. Not if they videoed themselves.
They aren't smart enough to operate a video. You aren't going to see that chicken there taking a video around.
All right.
He doesn't have enough, his brain is not developed enough for
Yo,
that.
man, him can hear you saying that. Don't cuss him.
I'm not cussing him. I say his brain is not developed enough.
He's like just there. He's going to hear you say that and be like well upset, innit?
No, he's not.
Look at that!
That's why she wanted it.
Oi!
Like this.
Look at that fucking thing. What's that?
That's a chicken.
What? That thing?
It's a chicken.
Is that a real animal?
That's a chicken.
Check it out. Has you ever seen anything like that?
Yeah.
Look at it.
He's got feathers on his feet.
How come he was wearing that?
That's the way Mother Nature, that's the way his genes are. He was born.
So where is like the tigers?
This is not a zoo. This is a farm. This is like, this is more like a farm you would have seen probably when I was a kid.
What about a hippopotamus?
Hippopotamus, there, you go to the National Zoo and you can see them.
What, you ain't got them here either?
No, this is not a zoo. This is a farm. You know what a farm is?
Well, it's like a rubbish zoo, obviously.
Okay, I hope you learned something about animals.
Yo, me learned a lot about animals.
You have a lot to learn.
Keep it real.
Okay.
Enough respect.
Okay.
Safe.
Safe.
Wicked.
Okay.
I has written a romance book. The title is A Kiss on the lips. Not those ones, you dirty devil. Normal ones. Who knows hoes more than anyone else in the world? Me. This is written from a man who has boned over 6 bitches, and 9 if you include fingers and thumbs. It's called The Crown. Story is this. Some terrorists come into the UK and then manage to stick a grenade up the Queen's punani. And like, I's got 48 hours to get it out.
Now, I didn't quite hear what you said. Where has this bomb been hidden?
In her puni.
That's a little bit off kilter. That's more of a thriller espionage, and I do primarily science fiction.
All right, well, I can set it like on a spaceship. Does you know how much money the film Lord of the Rings has made?
I have no idea.
Literally thousands of dollars.
Hundreds, millions of dollars.
Me is gonna write a book version of the film Lord of the Rings.
But there is a book called Lord of the Rings. The movie was based on a book called Lord of the Rings.
Problem is, when bitches is reading it on the bus or in a library, them don't have the privacy to strum their own banjo. You know, flick their own baked bean. So the answer is that this book stimulate not only the mind, but also the punani. How? I'll show you. It vibrates.
I would say this would be a first in publishing. I've never heard of anything like this.
Here is the story. It start off President Bush and his missus, Laura, they is opening a swimming pool. She sees the lifeguard. She look at his face. Nice. She look at his bling. Nice. She look at his dong. Very nice. We's all heard of World War II. But did you know that a few years before that was something called World War I?
Yeah, sure.
I've got new interviews with Germans in that is gonna like throw a whole new light on the whole thing.
Contemporary Germans?
No doubt. They was students staying at my mate Ricky C's mum's house. Me asked one of the girls if her granddad was Arnold Hitler. You know the one with the small tash?
Yeah, I know who Hitler is.
No doubt. Because she had like, you know, a similar one on her. So me was chatting to her, and the moment me said it, she'd get up, put her panties back on, and I ain't never heard from her since. Explain that.
You'd have to explain it. I couldn't explain it.
She speak like this. I can't think like this. My husband is the most powerfulest man in the whole world, probably. The only reason him went and did that war with Iraq was because I made one comment about what Saddam Hussein's cock must be like. Interesting. Got one other book idea.
What is that?
I is going to write President Bush's autobiography.
You're going to write his biography?
Autobiography.
Well, yeah, okay. Why would he even consider listening to you?
3 words. $5,000 cash.
That means nothing to him.
All right, $5 billion. Where
are you going to get $5 billion?
That's where you comes in. Is you up for handing over some cash?
Well, I think the most, you're not going to like that figure because it's so low, but
Yeah.
at this point, the only amount I could possibly give you is $50 to sign this book.
I'll take it. Diggity, check yourself before you wreck yourself, cause I be here with none other than my man, John Neighbor. Him be president of the US Olympians. And today we is chatting about none other than the Olympics. The Olympics, it's well important, isn't it?
It seems to be the one thing that holds the world together in the world of sport.
Alright. So where's the Olympics being held this year?
In Athens, Greece.
In Greece?
Yeah.
Why is it being held in a, excuse me French, bit of a crap country?
The city of Athens was the city where the very first modern Olympics was ever held, in 1896.
So what other type of Olympics is there?
The only other type of Olympics I know of is something called the Special Olympics.
Is the prize money really bad for these Special Olympics? Because I seen some of them, and without being disrespectful or anything, a lot of the contestants seemed a bit spasticated.
Yeah, they are.
But the level there is pretty low. I mean, they ain't, I reckon I could beat a lot of them.
Well, you probably could.
Me heard there's drug testing at the Olympics.
There sure
is that true?
Yes.
Is that the bestest event?
Drug testing in the Olympics is basically they take some urine from the athletes and they run it through a machine that detects if there's any drugs in there.
So what does you do to them if you find there's been taking drugs?
You kick them out.
Why does you disqualify them if them is on drugs? I mean, if anything, surely you should be giving them a head start. Because I know if I is like totally mashed, I can hardly be asked to get off the sofa, let alone walk to the fridge.
Yeah, if
let alone do a race.
That's a good point. If it was recreational drugs, they should give them a head start.
So, is you upset that you can buy Olympic medals?
Where can you buy them? Oh, like on eBay?
Well, no, like my nan bought me one from Egham Market near Staines where me live for like best grandson. Ain't that wrong?
Well, I would doubt that you can buy an Olympic medal. You can buy a medal.
No, it was an Olympic one. It said had all the signs and all that, and it said best grandson.
Oh, well, I don't think it was a real Olympic medal because the real Olympic medals don't say best grandson.
So who did win the Olympic medal for best grandson?
I don't think they have that as an event. Like they don't have rapping. They don't have best grandson.
Well, this was definitely proper medal, and my nan said it was real.
Well, I'm not telling your nan she's a liar. I'm just telling you I've never seen it.
Is most world records set at the Olympics?
It's hard to say. Sometimes yes, sometimes no.
Was the world record for the tallest man set at the Olympics?
No. The world's record for the tallest man is not an Olympic competition. That's just a Guinness Book of World Records record.
So what about the record for the longest moustache?
No, that was not an Olympic sport either. Somebody said it's possible to be the world's tallest midget, but how do you know?
What?
Well,
you measured them, innit?
Yeah, but how do you know the world's tallest midget?
Well, you'd have to, with a ruler, innit?
Yeah, but how do you know what makes a midget? Maybe I'm the world's tallest midget, am I?
No, midgets is like the small blokes,
right.
isn't it?
So how do you become the world's tallest midget?
I don't know, with diet and how you eat.
Well, what makes a midget a midget? The fact that they're short?
Which one is midgets? Is them the ones that is like same things, or is them the ones with the big dongs?
I don't know, but I think they're short.
So what's your point?
My point is that it's hard to reward somebody for being the way they were born.
Yo, total respect.
Thank you.
Easy now. Check it. I is here with none other than my man, Professor James Ziegler. Him was the head of something called the IMS, which stands for the Immigration
Naturalization
Society.
Service.
Wicked. What is Homeland Security?
Homeland Security is about protecting the individuals in the country from forces that may come in and try to do harm, such as terrorists.
Could it be possible to work with the terrorists to say, yo, here's a building that we're going to demolish anyway. Go, have your fun with it, do whatever you want, but just don't do the other ones.
Well, that will not work with a terrorist.
Why not?
Because the terrorists, you say, okay, here's an old building, we're gonna demolish it, have your fun with it.
Do it.
That doesn't achieve their purpose.
So, Professor, does you think that terrorists will use aeroplanes again?
I think they would like to.
Why does you let them fly on the same planes as normal passengers? Why don't you arrange separate flights for terrorists, so if they is gonna do this terrible behavior, let them ruin their own trip?
Well, listen, if we knew they were terrorists, we'd pick them up. We'd never let them on an airplane.
Let's talk about in the airports. You know those machines that beep when you've got coins in your pocket? Why don't they develop a machine that beeps if you was carrying a gun?
Well, it does too. A gun will also set it off, or a knife.
But them is mainly designed for coins and keys.
No. It's designed for guns and knives and objects that could be weapons.
Does they use dogs in airports?
For explosive devices.
Ain't the problem though that 99% of dogs can't speak English? So how does they let you know who is carrying a bomb?
Well, dogs are trained to give indications.
How?
Well, they will sit and point, for example.
How does he know they ain't pointing to say this one definitely ain't got a bomb in it?
Well, they don't. They're trained to only respond to a certain smell.
How come there ain't much security on trains?
Well, for one thing, it's kind of hard to hijack a train and run it into something.
But what's to stop a terrorist taking over a train, driving it into, God forbid, the White House?
They can't. There are no tracks.
Well,
there are no tracks to the White House.
Not that we know of.
No, they're not.
How does he know they ain't been building one?
The White House is so protected, there's no way of building tracks to the White House with the Secret Service and all the barriers that are around it.
Well, you'd have to have someone in on it, on the inside, innit?
But they would have to build them on
someone who was like,
No, even that. They'd have to build them on top of the ground, and they'd have to go right to the White House. There's no way of being on the inside of that.
How difficult is it to get a green card?
A Brit marries an American, let's say. You can get a green card, but you're going to have to wait for 2 years.
If you ain't managed to marry an American, but you is got jiggy with like loads of them, can you still get a green card?
No.
No, but if you is does you understand?
I understand exactly what you're saying. The
real?
answer is no. Family relationships are very important to our immigration law. And if it's just a friend that you've got a special relationship
with, baby, let's get special.
That doesn't work. That's not going to get you in.
And that's a shame.
Well,
because I is halfway there, you know what I'm saying?
Well, it's, that's the way the law is.
So, listen up. You better check out the words of my man, James Ziegler. Respect. Energy. Ain't you worried that if we use a lot of this solar energy, that we will use the sun up?
No, the sun's burning anyway. I mean, and we're not. What we're doing is taking what's already coming down and putting it to good use.
But Mia, there's some countries like in Alaska where there's already run out of sun, and there's like darkness for like months of a year.
Well, that's because of the rotation of the Earth. It's not because the sun is running out. It's because the relationship of the sun and the Earth to one another.
Why is water getting dirty?
If you change the oil of your motorcycle or your car in the driveway and you just dump it there, it gets washed down in a rain, it gets into the water table, it gets into the water, it dirties the water.
Ain't the main reason why the water is dirty, though, that a lot of fishers does their toilet inside the water?
Well, fish do it, but farmers, the animals get, if you let cows and pigs and sheep go into the streams, then they're dirtying the water.
So why don't you tell the fish, whatever, don't know how you tell them, but make sure they ain't doing their plop in the water?
But I really think it's more us than they.
So what about whales? Don't they make massive pollutions in the water?
Again, they're not, when you consider the amount of water there is in the ocean and the seas, and you consider the number of whales, they're not the problem.
But you've seen the
They're
size.
big. Oh yeah,
they must
they're
do massive
big.
ones in
They've
there.
got to be.
What is Earth First?
Earth First is, it's really an idea of putting the earth before yourself.
You know that me and the West Staines Massive did a protest against McDonald's in Staines.
Nice. McDonald's definitely deserves it. The consumption of meat is definitely adding to the world's starvation problem.
Oh, no, we weren't against that. We was against, they started charging for their ketchup like 8 pence for like a little bit of ketchup.
Right, taxing people every chance they get.
So we was like, protesting, saying ketchup should be free and there shouldn't be like a limit to how many ketchups you can have.
There's lots of good reasons to protest McDonald's. I mean, they're definitely using a lot of pesticides. They're definitely using a lot of chemicals. You know, the slaughter of cattle. You know, mass slaughter of cattle is
the ketchup thing, though.
Right, that's a big thing too.
So, what is things like this tree used for?
Mainly luxury items, as we'd say. You'd see like a lot of redwood hot tubs, a lot of redwood decks.
Is you telling me that this tree wouldn't prefer to be a hot tub with a couple of flower honeys in, totally, no clothes on, whatever, rather than having, you in?
Our good friend.
Safe respect.
Whisper.
So, what's your name again?
My name's Whisper.
What?
Whisper.
Why is that? Does he like whispering? Get it? Because his name, Whisper. All you lot out there, and I was speaking for me and my friends here, saying that go out there, publicise this thing, talk to your friends, make something that makes a difference, burn a car, whatever, mash people up, but let them know that you was doing it for this cause, so then we can get publicity for it, innit?
Stay non-violent.
But
we don't do property destruction.
But wouldn't it be more better for your cause?
No.
People are smashing things up anyway to say, I was doing this for the tree people.
No.
Wouldn't it be good if it weren't just smelly hippies who was doing it, but it was also like
if it was
normal
everybody
people
doing it, then they'd find a way to demonize the regular people.
But if them come at you with axes, you come at them with guns. They ain't gonna come back,
They'll come back with guns.
Right. Well, you get Uzis, man. No one's gonna take
then
like
they'll get
9mm Glock, man.
They'll get AK-47s.
Well, you get a bomb.
If we get bombs, they'll get bigger bombs.
Well, you nuke them, whatever.
Oh, we nuke them, then the trees get blown up.
And then whatever. Forget about them. At least you've won. Does you want to just give a final message to the camera?
Sure. Rise up and rebel, with non-violence.
So what's your message to the camera? It's not about non-violence as well, is it?
I would say it has to be. I encourage you to rise up, do whatever you can to make the earth a better place.
Whatever you can. Violent or non-violent.
No, I did not say that.
Well...
I can't advocate violence.
But man, if I start advocating non-violence, come back to the street, man,
Well,
people be, you was a non-violent guy,
That's the part of the power structures that we're working on chiseling away at, with our actions, with our words, with our thoughts, with our songs.
What songs has you got?
Gentle warrior, with a heart like gold and a rainbow in your eye, brave companion. That's just the first part of it. It's called Gentle Warrior.
No offense, but that song, in my opinion, is a bit crap.
Each has their own opinion.
Booyakasha. Animal rights. Animals is all around everywhere. So if you is thinking that animal rights ain't important, it is. So, does you think it's all right for young people out there to do experiments on animals in their own home?
I would be against it in virtually
every case.
Because me and my mate Dave, we did an experiment to like find out about the nuclear thing, and we got a hamster and we put it in the microwave and we wanted to see if it would survive, and it did. It came out, you know, it was like a bit more hot, but it was alive. Ain't that all right?
Children who don't have any background in medical or knowledge of the area should not be trying something on an animal that could possibly harm them.
So, is it all right for people to wear fur?
I don't know how a rational person could say, I need a fur coat at the expense of 60 animals.
Does you really think an animal would mind if it knew it was going to a premiere on the back of P. Diddy?
I think that the animals would prefer to live out their life in the woods and die a natural death and don't probably even know who P. Diddy is. That's what I think.
Well, everyone knows who P. Diddy is.
Yeah, even I do, so, you know. But you know, I'm not a fox or a chinchilla.
But ain't fur coats the way out of the ghetto for some animals?
I think that we don't need fur, whatever culture we're in and whoever we are.
So does you think it's right that now some animals has got human girlfriends? Because like we saw this video of this horse who was going out, you know, having a relationship with this Dutch girl, and like first up I thought, what's in it for her? And then like we saw his dong, and like, you know, I's got a big one, but I ain't got nothing on like these horses. There's no way I can compete. You know, you got a normal guy, then you got me, then you got like the horse.
This is the exploitation of and I think that's what we're trying to say. We're all agreeing that this is an exploitation of animals.
Of animals?
Humans. Oh, yes.
But the horse was like totally happy. There was like about half a gallon of proof.
It wasn't the animal's decision. He didn't go out there and try to wine and dine that whatever that person was.
Well, me does a bit of DJing, so let me ask you for like one word.
One word, science. Learn.
Compassion.
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 Is that a word?
It is.
Compassion.
Welfare.
Science. Science. You better have your welfare. 'Cause you know that with compassion, you're gonna have your, what's it called?
Learning.
Your children learning about the animals. Booyakasha, check this out. I is here with my main man, none other than the boss man, Mr. Gore Vidal. Today we is chatting about history, innit? Because you better learn about it. Is history happening all the time?
We are history. We can't help it.
When I was 14, I fingered this girl called Ruth Jonas, and she found out that me was letting people sniff me fingers for 10 pence. And she told me that I was history. Is I history?
Well, you were history for her.
For real? So what does that mean?
That means as far as one person on earth goes, you are historic.
What was the Constitution?
It was a written document outlining how the government of a new country should be governed.
So why did they decide to write the Constitution on those two tablets?
They're not on tablets, they're on paper.
Didn't they mold up the...
No, that's Moses.
So, all right. So how involved was Moses in the Constitution?
He had nothing to do with the Constitution.
So is the Constitution the same now as it was back then?
No.
What?
Well, we have amendments.
How many of them has you got?
We've got 27 amendments to the Constitution.
Ain't it better sometimes to get rid of the whole thing rather than amend it? Because like, me used to go out with this bitch called... And she used to always try and amend herself, you know, get her hair done in highlights, get like tattoo done on her body crease, you know, have the whole thing shaved, very nice. But it didn't make any more difference. She was still a minga. And so, you know, me had had enough. And once we got her pregnant, We've said, all right, laters. That is it. Ain't it the same with the Constitution?
Well, the Constitution has not yet been pregnant.
Let's chat about slavery. Ain't a lot of movies about slavery basically racialist? Like, whenever them needs to cast a slave, them always choose a brother.
Well, there were no white slaves.
What?
In America, in the United States.
So couldn't it be argued that slavery is a bit racialist?
Well, it was totally racist.
So, you was an amazing guy. You ain't just a historian and a writer and a speaker. You was also a world-famous hairstylist. So let's just ask a couple questions about that.
That's Vidal Sassoon. That's not me.
But that's what you go under as well?
No. That's somebody else. I know him, too.
All right, so...
Very nice man. But.
All right, well, these next few questions may make a little bit less sense, but just bear with me. So, if you could cut any First Lady's hair, which one would it be?
No, I've never cut any hair. That's Vidal Sassoon.
Yo. Easy.
Vernon.
Yo, respect.
Good to see you.
Safe.
Washington lived here for about 40 years, so this is very much a reflection of his personality.
So does Denzel Washington still live here?
Denzel?
For real?
No, Denzel Washington's a different Washington family, and I really can't tell you a lot about his background.
Yo, he's a brother, innit? Was the other one a brother?
Was the other one a brother? I don't think so, no.
So there's a river near this house?
Yeah, you can go out and see it right now.
So did him used to do a lot of like jet skiing on the river?
I don't think they had jet skis yet.
So did him go windsurfing back then?
No, we don't have any records of windsurfing either.
Is that because wind weren't invented then?
They had almost all their big ships would have had sails. So they would have been using the same kind of technology
as
the windsurfing that uses today. This is George Washington's most private sanctum. It's a study.
For real?
And that's, you know, who that guy is.
Who's that?
That guy is the father of the American Navy, John Paul Jones.
Was it difficult for him to live and fight without having any arms or legs?
Well, no, he actually had a full body. That artist didn't want to do the full body. He just stopped right here.
So what is the 4th of July?
4th of July is when they issued the Declaration of Independence, and we treat that as a holiday every year. So nobody goes to work on the 4th of July. We have fireworks and all sorts of celebrations.
And what date does you hold the 4th of July on?
Yeah, usually the 4th of July.
Why?
Well, that's why we call it that, I think, yeah.
What happens if it was a leap year? It wouldn't be on the 4th of July then,
it'd
innit?
still be on the 4th of July.
No, not in a leap year.
Oh, yeah.
Does you know what a leap year is?
Yeah, sure.
Every like 5 years.
It's every 4 years. There's an extra day in February.
Or maybe a year. I think this place is a bit like P. Diddy's, isn't it?
Is it really?
Well, I think he's got like something like this kind of vibe.
I've never seen it, so I'm seeing this one. I haven't seen that one, so I don't really know.
I think his is, with all respect, a little bit better. You know, it's got like plasma screens and a lot more bitches.
A lot more high tech, I bet.
6. You've probably heard the word out there, and some of you probably know what it means. For those of you who don't, it means boning. But with boning comes responsibility. You gotta know what you was doing so you don't get a bad lurgy on your knob. So, what is pregnancy?
Pregnancy is when the sperm and the egg have met, and the fetus implants itself, and the baby grows for 9 months in the woman's womb.
Can you make someone pregnant by taking them up the butty? In their butty hole, their exit hole?
Oh, no, you cannot. Unless some of the sperms migrate out and get into her vagina. And that can happen.
I didn't think you was going to be using words like that. So it's almost impossible.
Almost impossible.
You see, Tanya, it ain't mine, right? And you know what you was chatting about. Can you say that very clearly to camera, that it's basically impossible to get someone preggers when you take them up the butty?
It's probably not a good idea.
But it's almost 0%.
Almost 0%.
Listen up, Tanya.
Almost 0%.
Yo, look for someone else, slapper. Let's have a little look at the table.
Okay.
Let's take us through that.
This is her vagina. This is
Mhm.
where sex takes place, right, in that. But of course that stretches out.
And that's the clit, innit?
No, right here.
All right, respect. Yo.
Yeah.
All right, safe. Let's just have a little look at... So is that actually yours?
No, that is not mine.
All right, that didn't fall out your bag, or...
No, it did not.
All right, well, I know exactly what's here, so I know if something has disappeared at the end of it.
All right.
All right, so what is that?
This is a condom in a foil case. I'm sure you've seen these before.
Yeah, well, not really. Yeah,
Ooh, this one's very slippery.
that's wrong.
There we go.
How can that be right? Now, for young people out there who can't afford Connies, does you recommend using a Doritos bag?
I would recommend they went to Planned Parenthood and got some free condoms.
What's this?
This is a female condom. So if the man doesn't want to wear a condom,
Yo, finally there's made one in my size. What's this over here?
this is what's called an IUD, an intrauterine device. This goes right inside the woman's uterus.
I once put my cell phone up my Julie and the aerial fell off and it's still up there. Does you think it will stop the sperms?
I doubt it.
You know, I thought she would enjoy it because it was on vibrate, and I think her clit must have pressed answer because suddenly I heard Ricky C's voice coming from her poonie. How come there is such good reception in a woman's poonie? Because there ain't no reception by my nan's fridge.
I couldn't tell you.
For real. It was like, well, weird, you know, having a conversation with him because I could hardly hear what he was saying, but I didn't want to embarrass her.
I'm learning something new all the time.
Boom, selector. Check it. Today we're chatting about medical ethics. What is the illness that they give out ganja for?
I believe they've used it for glaucoma.
Where could I catch a disease like that from?
I don't know you catch it. I think it's something that can develop.
Does they give you like Kingston Super Skunk or does they just give you normal Maui Maui?
That I don't know.
Is normal medicine best at curing people or should you look to alternatives? Now you is a homophobic doctor. What's that like?
Homeopathic.
All right. All right. Yo.
Yeah.
No, seriously, keep your own prejudices at home because, you know, there might be gaylords out there who's watching this now. I don't want you to insult them. So
No, you used the word homophobic.
You should take that back, that word that you said.
I didn't use the word you did. I used the word homeopathic, which is a system for deciding when people are sick what medicinal substance will most help that individual.
I think it's wrong to say that them people is sick. They've got a different way of living than us.
You have misunderstood, sir.
I don't want to be the guy who's in charge of this whole thing saying that kind of language is okay. Sorry. So, what is cloning?
Cloning is basically where they take a cell and they make it grow into a living creature.
Does you think cloning is right?
Doing something this unusual is very, very dangerous. First of all, we already know that their experience with this has shown many, many failures.
All right. Well, what about if you could clone Foxy Brown? I bet you wouldn't say no to that.
Well, since I do not know who that individual is, I can't say absolutely no.
Foxy Brown, you know, she ain't called Foxy for nothing. She's fly like Sirius Babylon's.
I see.
Yo, would you be into that if you could clone Foxy Brown?
No.
I was getting you, don't like brown sugar, whatever. What about if it was Carmen Electra?
No, because basically I'm opposed to the issue of producing life in this circumstance.
All right, I was getting you. I didn't mean to assume anything. So what about if it was George Michaels? Would you be up for cloning him?
No, as I said before, scientifically it is not known what will ever occur in such a circumstance.
There was two boys in my school called Alan Lambert and Phil Lambert, and they was exactly the same, like same hair, same eye color, same height. They even was born on the same day. Does you think that they was clones?
No, they weren't cloned. They were what is called identical twins.
How does you know that they was twins?
Well, the nature of the way the mother had to...
Does you know them?
Yes. Yeah.
You know
The
Phil
doctors-
or Alan?
I don't know those two
All
gentlemen.
right, because I think Phil moved to America, that's why I thought maybe you met him or something. Let's talk about doctors. Does they have the right to end old people's lives?
That's euthanasia.
Why is it the responsibility of the euthanasia for killing someone else? Surely it's between that patient and the doctor.
Euthanasia is the term that's used when you are killing. It's a nice word for killing.
Well, whatever. You were saying that it's mainly Asian youths that is...
No.
Does you think that they're responsible for this? You don't also agree with him?
Who's responsible for it?
No.
The euthanasia.
I think we're getting confused here. Euthanasia comes from the Greek word for death.
Let me understand what you were saying. You were saying that it got nothing to do with young people in Asia. You were saying that occasionally there's some doctors here who may be from Asia who do this.
That's correct, but they could also be from the United States.
But they're mainly from Asia.
No.
Even
No,
though
no.
the ones that are there behave themselves very well.
No, the Asians.
they have
we
nothing
have
to do with
absolutely no evidence that the Asians do it more than we do.
So let's talk about plastic surgery. I heard about this thing, and it's probably rubbish, that some girls actually gets their Babylons reduced. Is that true?
Yes, it's true.
For
Some
real?
peop- What? Yes.
Oh, yes.
Ain't that selfish though? Because like, it's one woman getting backache, but you was taking away thousands of men getting pleasure, isn't it?
I think you're misunderstanding once again. I'm talking about grossly enlarged, where they are not attractive.
Well, I was talking about nice ones.
Oh, I see. Well, it's a matter of taste.
Respect. Safe. Chat about that after. Men and women. Does you think that men should marry only one woman? Does you believe in mahogany?
I do. I personally believe in monogamy, for me personally.
How come in some religions it's all right to have more than one wife? Like the Morons, you know. Like sometimes I wish I was a moron.
Well, it's the Mormons or the Muslims.
Well, whatever.
Both those religions, it's okay to have more than one wife. And it becomes very hard to settle on one woman. So I know lots of men, I've helped lots of men with this, who, you know, they'll be with a woman, she's great, and then they just lose interest, and they don't understand because all these other women seem so much better.
For real, it's like with me, Julie, we know there's definitely someone better.
Well, I don't know if she'd like to hear that.
Yo, no, I just told her.
Okay, but what you want to do is not tell her.
Yo, but when she get cocky, whatever, you know, look at me, I could get anyone and say, yo, I could do a lot better than you, so shut up.
Well, that's not a nice thing to say.
Let me tell you about a problem that I's got at the moment with me Julie. About 2 months ago, me convinced me Julie to let me take some like arty photos of her, like very tasteful, whatever. Anyways, I was showing them to my mates.
Yes.
And then them came up with this idea of like sending them to this magazine called Shaven Amateurs. Anyway, them published them. And now my Julie is like well menstrual, really eggy. What must me do?
Well, you're going to have to pay the price for that. You violated her trust.
Oh, no, she ain't worried about that. She just want half of the money.
You need to find somebody who has professional standards of what the model would get.
So will me have to pay Snickers as well?
I don't understand the Snickers thing.
She's holding a Snickers bar or whatever. But I mean, to be fair, you can only see Ickers.
Okay, got it.
But does me still have to pay them? Because it is kind of, in a way, it's like advertising for them. Today, on a very, very basic level.
I think it's about reproductive rights and our current administration's legislation that threatens a woman's right to choose.
Well, I think that's also interesting because we're a lesbian couple and everything, and
what?
We have not had abortions, but we are wanting to go down to the mall and show our support.
For real. Did you say that you know some people as lesbians?
Mm-hmm. Well, we know each other.
What, you two is?
We're a couple.
Couple of lesbians. Respect.
Thank you.
Yo.
Last I looked.
Total respect. Yo,
Thank you.
wicked. Yo, I love lesbians. Yo, wicked.
Okay.
Yo, respect. Just relax, you know. I love it. It's got loads of videos and everything, so it's wicked.
So what's your opinion on abortion rights or women's reproductive rights?
Yo, I was totally into abortion. I has been responsible for at least 5, so, I was well up for it.
Find out what abortion is! Find out what it is!
So why is you so pro-abortion?
We're not pro-abortion, we're pro-life.
Has you ever had an abortion?
No, I've never had an abortion.
Surely you should try something before you say it is bad.
Oh no, we've known many women that have had an abortion. Yes.
But I was very, very anti-Burger King. But then, we went there and we tried the flame-grilled Whopper and it was it was amazing. What be your name?
Father Dean Schultz.
Yo, respect. Say, is you very anti-abortions because you yourself was aborted?
No, I wasn't aborted.
So you ain't never got a whole preggers? You ain't never got a whole preggers?
No.
So is that because you use connies or does you fire blanks?
This interview is over.
Call it choice, call it murder. Just don't call it medicine.
Can we ever go on the ladder?
Hear me now, come on the back of the bus. Hear me now. Free Nelson Mandela! Free Nelson Mandela!
Let's make this clear. You was campaigning to make abortions cheaper. Why is that?
I'm completely against it. I'd like to see Roe versus Wade overturned. Personally, I would wait until I was married to have sex with someone and to...
So what? Is you married or not?
No, I'm not married yet.
So what? Is you a virgin?
Yeah.
I don't mean to laugh, but you're joking.
No.
This is going on telly,
That's great.
Ask me how old I was when I lost my cherry.
Oh, why don't you just tell me?
11 years old, and she was like 24 and a model. And she wanted more. I just didn't want to commit, innit?
We shall overcome. We shall overcome. I do believe.
Abortion.
Deep in my heart.
Abortion.
That we shall overcome someday.
So fresh. Shake it like a Polaroid picture. Check this. I is here with none other than my main man, Dr. Schultz. Him was the chief economics advisor to some bloke called President Carter. And also, he was the budget director for Lyndon Johnson. And she was the president.
Nope.
What?
It's a he, and it's Lyndon.
Yo, let me just do the beginning bit again.
Yeah.
So I do, cause, okay. Yo, check it. I is here with Dr. Schultz. Him was economic advisor to President Carter and also to President Johnson, who was a man. So, economics, it's well important, isn't it?
Yeah, it is. It's where you make your money.
For
you
real.
get rich, or you get poor, or you're unemployed, you got a job.
Let's talk about the notes. Why does they put pictures of gay lords on the bills here?
Of who?
Of batty men. Of men who, blokes who do it with each other. Why has they got pictures of gay lords, gayers, benders, batty men, fifi men, homos?
They don't.
What? No, on the thing, like...
They don't.
Like this bloke here.
Yeah.
Come on,
What are you
that
telling me?
bloke...
He was a
gay.
famous general. He was a president.
Him was a gay
No,
lord?
no.
But come off it, he's got the same haircut as my nan.
So what? What's a haircut got to do with it? He would say you're looking pretty weird. with your hair?
Yo, well,
because
you better tell me that face to face.
To him,
we mash
you
him
would,
up.
no, to him you would.
Wouldn't it be better, instead of having like a $5 bill and a $10 bill, having like a $5.44 bill and a $16.89 bill and like a $22.11 bill and like a $5.44? No, I've done that already. Or like a $182,000 $250 million bill. That way, you wouldn't have to carry any spare change, innit?
So you go to a store, and you've
So-
got a $52.64 bill in your pocket, right?
We hope. We hope. It's just a dream at the moment.
Suppose you did. And it turns out when you got the thing, the price was not $52.64, but $52.65. What
Yo.
would you do?
Pay for it with the $52.65 bill.
You don't have it.
Bolt. One go. Thank
All
you.
right. Wouldn't you have to have thousands and thousands of bills in your pocket?
What is the stock market?
I want to have a company that produces toys, right?
What is this? What? Because you've had enough with the politics and economics thing.
No. I just want to make money. I got a good toy. I know I can sell it.
What is it?
But I'm just any toy. I'm just giving you an example. I don't know.
Is it one of them robot dogs?
Yeah, let's say it is. Or something like that. Who knows?
Because them is out already.
All right, we'll say it's a better one.
Why does he want to go into toys? Does he not think the economics
No.
is interesting anymore?
No, I'm giving you an example.
All right.
I'm trying to tell you what investment means and why you need stocks.
Oh, you don't want to go into toys?
Well, I don't want to myself, but I'm trying to give you an example.
No,
Suppose
that's a
I
shame.
did.
That's a shame,
Just
isn't it?
suppose I did.
It would have been a laugh.
Well, I sure would have, because I wouldn't know how to make them. But let's suppose I did.
All right.
And I got a great idea. I got a friend who's got a good toy he designed, and I think it's going to
Oh,
sell.
wicked. What's that?
Let's suppose it. I'm just giving an example. I just made it up.
Oh,
I just made it up.
does it make a difference what price they buy it at or sell it at?
Yeah. The lower you buy it and the higher you sell it, the more money you make.
But ain't the problem with selling things when you was high is that you sometimes get really bad deals. Like one time when me was high, me sold me car for like 24 chicken McNuggets. Ain't it wrong to do that?
But I wasn't high.
Yo, but no, me was totally high. Me was mashed. Me done like, you know, like some super skunk from Amsterdam that me'd got in and we'd smoked like loads of it. And then it was like me was well hungry and my mate Dangerous Dave said, yo, can we have your car? And I said, oh, yo, give me the chicken. Maybe we'll chat about
But that's
it.
because you were high.
Yo, for real.
Yeah, but I'm not talking about you. I'm talking about the stock. Is the price high?
Oh, so you shouldn't be high when you sell it.
No. Don't be high. That's a real rule.
Yo.
Don't be high when you're buying and selling stock.
What is a PIN number?
You got to have a PIN number to work the ATM.
What is the bestest PIN number? Is it your house number or is it your birthday?
It's probably a number that doesn't mean anything.
We know you can't tell me, but is it
No, I don't mean that.
1984?
No, that is my point.
Is it in the 1980s? Just nod if it was.
You mean the PIN number?
Yo, is that the bestest one?
No. Well, I don't know what's the best. Doesn't matter.
88.
You want
1988. 1888.
Do you know why you need
I know
it?
it's something 84 with 8s in it.
What you want is a PIN number
Wicked.
that nobody else knows.
Safe.
So you don't pick a year. You don't pick your birthday. You pick some number that doesn't have any meaning. 6598, 2642, 3515.
What was that? 6598?
Yep. 3215.
3215.
8954.
Which of those
I
ones?
just make them up. I'm making them up. as I go.
8954.
It doesn't make any difference. I'm making them all up.
Listen up, pay attention, and be careful with your cash. If you want to get to be wearing bling. Keep it real, respect.
Right? Yep. You got
Respect.
Good ones. Right.
Respect. Check it out. Today we is chatting about education. Let's talk about something that people don't like to chat about. a tattoo subject. Teacher-student relationships. Should kids ever be allowed to date their teachers?
No, definitely not.
But in school, my French teacher, Miss Bird, used to totally fancy me. You know, always looking at me, you know, speaking French to me, bonjour, bonjour. And you could like see she was interested, you know. But it was never allowed to happen because she was grown up, I was 13, even though I had a full tash upstairs and down. Why was I not allowed to date her?
Because your relationship as a student, not the relationship of a lover.
You're a minor. She was interested, you could see.
If your teacher had been interested in another student in your class, how would you have felt about the grades that she was giving that student as opposed to the grades she was giving you?
But don't you think students would study harder if there was an incentive? If the teacher would say, whoever studies hardest this term gets to play with these?
No.
No.
But
No.
if there was-
no.
Why
Out of the
not?
question. Out of the question. We've said why.
If we
At
ask the young
that
people
age,
watching
totally
this program
inappropriate.
what incentives they want to learn, I don't believe that nearly any of those young people would say these. That's not what they would say.
Let's talk about bullying in schools. It's a well serious problem, isn't it? Was anyone here bullied in school?
Oh, sure. Of course.
Yeah, can understand
let's
that.
make a distinction, though, I think, between bullying and real violence and danger. Because I don't think there's any place for allowing violence in a school.
So you must have been bullied. What sort of things did they call you? Well, don't tell me.
Oh, no,
let me guess.
yeah.
What, like Four Eyes? Or
No. I
like
didn't wear
Smelly
glasses.
Or
No. I didn't wear
what,
glasses
like
then.
Gay boy or something like that?
No.
Gaylord.
I wasn't bullied all through school, but I do remember one occasion where
What kind of things did they call you?
No. They didn't call me
Like,
anything. They.
La-di-da-di boy, Fifi man.
I honestly can't remember, but I do remember, getting in fights I really didn't want to, simply because I was being picked on. I sort of thought that's what you meant.
But what kind of thing was you bullied for? Like your what?
I guess they thought that I was
big
weaker
ears
than they were.
They thought you was what?
Yeah.
Weaker.
Yeah, I guess
Weaker.
they thought.
Weaker.
Yeah, I guess they picked on me because they thought I didn't get my heights until junior high or high school.
Oh, so you was like small. You was
I was
like
small
little,
for a while, yeah, and then
yeah,
I
like little runt of the litter.
Mm-hmm.
So what they call you, like small boy, and
I honestly don't remember any names sort of thing, but there was something like that. And even if you haven't experienced, I mean, it's not that hard to imagine this sort of thing, and it shouldn't be allowed to the degree that it can be started.
don't go on about it,
Schools are
little
social
boy.
settings, right? Schools are social settings. So you have to pay attention to the relationships between kids and the relationships between teachers and students.
So, does you think there's too many rules in school?
In school,
I didn't ask you, Four Eyes.
Oh, all right, wise guy. Yeah,
I ain't
so he
small.
thinks.
I ain't like little run of the litter.
Oh, is that right? I suppose we're
Oh,
all
you don't
being
laugh,
cheered on.
right?
You're what?
I wouldn't laugh, all right?
Right. What, or is there some threat behind that, sir?
Yeah, you may laugh, but I bet I could beat you up.
I'm not so sure of it. Maybe we ought to try it.
We want to big up all my guests here tonight. Keep it real. Keep your mind. Keep thinking. Keep studying. Safe. Booyakasha. Check this. I is with none other than my main man, Professor Norman Chomsky. And him is going to explain about language. Why is studying language important?
Language is the core property that basically defines human beings.
So when animals chat to each other, does them talk in language?
Well, that's more or less a matter of definition. I mean, every organism has some means of communication, including insects.
How many words does you know?
Well, normally humans, by maturity, have tens of thousands of words.
For real?
Yeah.
What is some of them?
Well, the ones we're using.
For real. Me know loads of words. Parachute, photograph.
If you count them up, it'll be in the.
spaghetti,
You count them up, it'll be in the tens of thousands.
camera.
Yeah.
my 4-year-old cousin Sanjeev, he's got a Bangladeshi mum, but his dad come from Staines, represent West Side. Does you think he'll grow up speaking both languages?
It varies among people. So if a person speaks 2 languages, you call them bilingual. Many languages, you call it multilingual.
So what you were saying to me, cousin may grow up bilingual?
In normal circumstances, he will.
But Professor, ain't it wrong to say just because he might be able to speak 2 languages that him will be into ladies and also into boys?
I don't understand. There's no connection.
Well, you were saying he's going to be bi.
There's no connection at all. I mean, whether he ends up liking boys or girls or chemistry.
He's going to grow up to be bi, and I don't think that's fair. You saying that
bilingual means having 2 languages. It has nothing to do with bi in the sense that you're thinking of. Bilingual means having 2 languages. It has nothing to do with being bisexual.
But how would you like it if I called you bilingual?
I'd love it if I were bilingual. I'd love it if I were multilingual. If I had many different languages, I'd be a richer person.
What's multilingual? Is that if
having many languages? No. Multilingual means multi means many.
Because my nan's boyfriend Derek, him always tell my nan that he is cunnilingual. How many languages does that mean him speak?
Again, let me say, each of us speaks many different languages.
Why don't you create a new language where instead of like the word bread, you add something like methylop or methla or or lafina?
You can
or
do
for
it.
A table, call it like plela. Or no, plela would be better for dog. But
you can do it if you like, and nobody will pay the slightest attention to you because it would just be a waste of time.
But you could earn a lot of money.
No, you wouldn't, because nobody would pay the slightest attention since it's a waste of time.
Yo, so check it out. You has heard the words of my main man. Now listen up, be well clever like him, and start speaking proper. Respect.
Okay.
Big up yourself. Safe.
Welcome aboard.
Easy now. Respect.
Come on aboard.
How old is this submarine?
Well, it's not a submarine. She's a U.S. Navy fighting ship built in 1854.
So to explain to the people out there, that's like long before the days of even Grandmaster Flash, isn't it?
Yes.
What about Africa Bambaataa and the Soul Sonic Force?
Much earlier than that.
So, is you French?
I'm not French, no.
So why is you dressed like that?
This is actually in a Civil War era, or basically 1860s U.S. naval uniform.
So when you go back home, you don't wear the costume or the moustache?
No, the moustache doesn't come off. But this is where everybody lived.
What?
Right in hammocks.
What, them slept in
these? They
these?
slept in these hammocks, and they slept this close, too.
Where did the bitches sleep?
You're talking about women on board the ship.
For Will Holt.
There were actually no women allowed on U.S. Navy ships.
Was this like a gay cruise?
No, I wouldn't say that. I wouldn't say that at all.
In the Navy, we have a lovely call and response thing that we do. First, I give the order.
All right.
You yell it back to me very loudly and then say "I" at the end.
All right.
That lets me know that you heard it, you understood it, and you're ready to work, right?
All right.
Okay. On the mizzen braces!
On the mizzen braces, aye.
Brace for sharp port tack!
Brace for
attack, aye.
Short, aye. Is you a seaman?
Yes, of course. That's why I'm a sailor aboard a ship.
But is you a girl?
There's no women that are allowed in the Navy, only men.
All right, then let's go change downstairs together. Or have a slash
I'm in
together.
my uniform, sir. I'm not going to. No immoralities aboard the ship. Not in the American Navy. I am not a girl. You cannot insult me by saying I'm a girl.
So is you a lady boy?
I'm not a lady boy. I'm a man.
Is that, what's Seaman's, what's it?
Sprouse?
I think Seaman Sprouse has got a punani.
Well, we won't discuss that because that's not allowed here on the ship. That's not allowed here on the ship at all. So we'll just keep that under covers for now.
All right, respect. You ain't with him, is you?
Say again?
You ain't with him, because if not, then does he mind if I have to go?
It's a free country.
All right, later.